Hello, hello, family. Mona. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Sierra Media live on Facebook and YouTube. You're joining Jumaba and Sylvester Tiboy Duba and the able technical director, Mr. Obafemi, the man himself. We're happy to be here again today, and we welcome you all both on Facebook and YouTube. And we hope say over the weeks when I don't they do well, when I be doing enjoy the summer. Now the weather don't pull face. No more showing of bodies, of showcasing all your biceps and all of that. So my term for Kabakaba and I don't reach so both in the UK and the US. Unana salon, I know say rain, then don't begin to see small. And hope say life the treat una well. Please share, and we encourage you now all for subscribe to we YouTube and Facebook so we're going to get real-time coverage, real-time programs, real-time events them where they come live from Sierra Media. As soon as I know we midweek program now how they go inside the Republic and still we want to appreciate you now, but still they crave on indulgence for beer with we. We not get back to the swing of things yet since we come on salon for the Giuna a weekly program on a regular basis. But that is gonna happen, you know. But for right now, we cannot go for more than 2 weeks without being live with you guys. So we're happy to be here, and I could call me colleague, the man himself, Sylvester T-Boy Duba for say Adu to Famulem. T-Boy, welcome. Tell Famulem Adu and tell me how life don't treat you this 1.5 week.
Well, I want to say thank you, viewers, and welcome to another edition of Sierra Media Live on YouTube and Facebook. And welcome to the Thursday edition when how they go inside the Republic. Well, Juma, I just want to say thank you to the viewers them and wish them all the best for the past couple of weeks that they haven't been able to hear our terrible voices and listen to.
Just quickly, boy, I get feedback from you, please. If you can minimize your monitoring device, or I don't know if not from you or from the technical end, but I get small feedback.
Yeah, me said yeah, but I'm not too sure whether it's from me really.
Right.
Yes, my devices are all muted. So basically, now just on me own voice no more. Now they give me voice as me voice they come out. But anyway, like I said earlier on, so Juma, I have been good and doing well so far. Focusing on so many different things, doing up the studio and preparing myself for the unexpected. Because no, I get for prepare for the unexpected because you know what's in the around the corner. You get for ready, stand by and prepare just in case. But life has been not too bad. The weather has changed and things don't begin slightly different. The place don't begin cold. But I've picked up a new hobby. It's you say you know the exercise. Well, that's not the new thing. I know they make a public announcement to for the public. That's a private.
You did drop, T-Boy. Can you stay closer to your mic, please?
I not like that, so you don't come back.
This sexiness way they make, even the voice, you don't introduce the sexiness, banner.
No, the voice not gonna for do that. I never forgot you don't guys on the camera like this. But anyway, like I said to you earlier on, things are not bad. Things are moving on fine. I can't complain that much. I've been able to do so many different things. I've started a new hobby. So a lot is happening. And that a lot they really happen. I have to say, I get for use to the best of my ability and best of my knowledge and create another impact in somebody else's life. We get for be very meaningful. Sometimes that will be the beginning of me becoming, I leave it like that. But anyway, welcome viewers and
a politician.
Astagfirullah, God no agree, never. Now you know for segment me in the book. If I be politician, the next thing we get for happen now, on going to begin give me obituary because I'm not going to take nothing for easy. because I will be so ruthless. I will be worse than Bobby Wine. But actually, saying it, I watched Bobby Wine over 6 hours a couple of days ago, and I saw his transition from where he began to where he is right now. And it's very interesting, you know, because he was a superstar musician, and all of a sudden being brutalized by the military, and all of a sudden you think, okay, so my luxury, my influence, my everything as a musician doesn't make me any different from those that are suffering. That's how he started his career. And then all of a sudden he's a parliamentarian, and all of a sudden he's a presidential candidate. I don't want to follow that footpath, but you never know. Again, Bobby Wine say he did not get himself into politics. Politics get into him. And that's not the road way some of we get for possibly face. As much as we avoid politics, we do everything possible for make we not get closer to we being the frontliners. But sometimes we are dragged to it. Sometimes we can be ashamed of saying, I am a politician. Sometimes we can be in denial to say, I am not a politician. But 90% of our activities around politics makes us a politician. We might not be actively involved in the front line of politics, but everything that we do is surrounded by politicians and politicians that are seeking for our services and our knowledge. So basically, I would say, I know they say never, never say never, but I wouldn't want to go down that road. If I go down that road, it will be a presidential candidate, not it will be a member of parliament.
I like that. They say you have to aim high, and then say the Americans then can say go big or go home.
Of
you
course.
know, anything worth doing is worth doing right, correct? You do it well, you do it right, you know. So if not, there's no need for you to do something or be part of it if you don't believe in what you're doing. Anyway, well, glad to know that life has been treating you well, and then you don't pick up a new hobby. You know, now that will let for you. You know, mortal man.
Well, I picked it up from where I left off.
So you don't exercise now? Is that what you're telling us? Now you don't take it?
It only takes somebody who knows me very well. Like you almost don't begin come close at a gram.
You don't begin play football now?
You still get close at a gram.
All right. To get there by the end
like
of
I said, it's only who knows me will know exactly what I'm talking about.
By the end
but
of
anyway, that will be the next big surprise for anybody else. But it will not be too much of a surprise because anyway, it is in my DNA. So I can't rule it out as well.
All right.
I've expressed a lot of passion in it over the past couple of years. I have applied it a lot in my life over decades, and I grew up with it in me. So no big deal. The only thing that I haven't done is what I'm doing now in that particular new hobby of mine.
Right.
But who knows me will know. Hey, you don't
are there innovation coming? All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us or for giving us a hint. Abu Bari, welcome. Indeed, long time. You know, we glad for there today. We've been doing programs in and out. We have been consistent doing it on a weekly basis because of other commitment and jobs, academic work, and all sorts of things have been happening. So, and again, like we say, you know, we tell when I say, oh, come on, salon cam, we want for re-strategize and see whose next level would it take Sierra Leone Media to. So we're still there in the process. So that's why we encourage you all to subscribe so you'll be getting the alert. We've been doing programs. I should say even for more Como Salon Cam, we don't broadcast more than, you know, we broadcast through Evil Day Salon apart from the, you know, elections consistently, because Tiba has been doing a lot of community programs.
Yeah,
you know, covering a whole lot week in and week out. Sometimes they do 2 or 3 programs a week. So it's not like we haven't been broadcasting. We have been. It's just that not on how they go inside the Republic for discuss things specific to Sierra Leone politics, human rights issues, you know, development issues, the economy, and human interest stories. So, but that will definitely continue, as I say, on bear with the camp, with the evolve small. So for today's program, we get three big topics, right? I think 3 big topics. The first one, now the 85-page European Union report on the elections, the June 24th elections, if you remember, the EU, the ECOWAS, the AU, Commonwealth, Qatar Foundation, and a lot of other groups them, be monitors now the elections for see how election and democracy they go on and they thrive. So there have been communications through press releases, statements, discussions with all the organizations they are. But the EU, as a practice, they give pre-elections, elections, immediately post-elections press conferences, and then they can do a final report. After in the final report, then will identify issues, then they make recommendations. So their report is out, 85 pages. I know say Boku, but if you have an opportunity to skim through it, you will be able to get a lot out of it, and you're able to put things into perspective. So we will come analyze some of the reports to some extent. Well, we will summarize them. We're not able to talk about every 85-page reading, but just the big talking points then. And then we will come, we say for put them into perspective for see all the conversations that we don't happen on social media around the elections for see if these reports they in line with that or no. So that's one thing that we'll be discussing. The second one, obviously, now Salon with the state of the economy. They say empty bag, not a team up, not also T-boy. So we know what they talk, huh?
That's correct. That's correct, sure.
And we know what they say, how they go inside the republic. We not talk about food na table, how people and they survive, livelihood, so that is very important. And also, in line with politics, we know that, there's been a standstill and a continued standstill. Now, the opposition party still decides, say, they're not a take part in governance up until today, as I can tell you now. That means they're not filling parliamentarians, they're not filling councillors, and so on and so forth. And we understand, say, there is an existing or ongoing dialogue will for start soon between the opposition and the government of Sierra Leone, we will be mediated by Commonwealth, AU and ECOWAS people that we come as alone. Then say the dialogue is coordinated by the independent peace commission as alone. So those are the big talking points. And when I know for say Gem Media, you always get for the unexpected. Whilst we go branch other side them and try for relate all that together. So over to you, T-Boy. Those are the big talking points.
Well, that's good because, again, the most important one the one we will all look forward to is the state of economy in Sierra Leone and the position of the APC party and the dialogue. Because the EU report, yes, we've all seen and heard about it. And of course, me too in the Freetown way, then do the pre-election and post-election press conference. So basically, that was covered by myself and you. And we don't see what's in the outcome of that report today. So much hasn't changed. It's more or less the same thing. They just add a few more into it. But 80-something pages of a report and everything else that contains that report is still not going to make any physical difference in the election results. So basically, yes, it is important. But at the same time, we need to analyze it a bit more. Like we know exactly what's in the outcome of what we as Sierra Leoneans then think and how we can action the report and how the reports will be of any benefit to us. Because most of the report is based on recommendations that they are moving forward to 2028 election. All good, but guess what? We have a situation that we have at hand right now that needs to be dealt with. So we have to look at that and then see what we can do as Sierra Leoneans for deal with the current situation before we wait for 2028 for address the issues that we encounter in this 2023 election. So basically, yes, we'll go into that in detail. But also, the economic state of Sierra Leone is derailing and is derailing faster. And we're going to look at the reason why we get to the situation where we get to right now in Salon, the state of economy is so bad that people are actually not just physically struggling, emotionally, mentally, and psychologically struggling the burden of the economic state of how Salon they run at the moment. And there have been so many different apparatus, the way they operate in various different facets. We don't come up with various different activities then and tax imposed in certain areas of the country where we make things even extremely more difficult as it is right now. So those are issues that we need to talk about in details if we have the time to do so. And also, of course, APC's position not to participate in parliament is being strongly agreed by the party, and the party still stand to that particular position there as of now, only because there is a dialogue that is going to possibly start tomorrow. Whether there has been an ongoing dialogue in the past couple of weeks or months, we don't know. But officially, I think the dialogue system, they start tomorrow. But my concern is the people who are responsible to, what's not the word, not invigilate,
facilitate.
Facilitate, well, not even facilitate, who are supposed to be mediating in between the dialogue systems are people that I personally don't trust for nothing, because we've been in their midst and we've seen the way they dealt with the internal issues of that particular dialogue. And the outcome of it wasn't something that we possibly or 110% will rely on, to say they are genuine about their cause, they are genuine about making sure that we hear a proper dialogue from both sides and find a resolution that will be of benefits to both sides. That I doubt, 110%. So to me, that dialogue is not meaningful at all. The only way that dialogue will be meaningful if something positive comes out of it. And I doubt that very greatly. So that's another point of discussion. We'll be able to come and analyze that particular area there and see what are the possibilities. We can possibly anticipate what sort of resolution they will come out. We will anticipate what sort of discussion they're going to be having in terms of whether power sharing, position sharing, whatever it might be. We might discuss the issues that we feel say, or where we anticipate say, might be issues tendering for discussion.
Thank you so much.
That's my position.
Thank you so much for raising that. And hello, I'll say hello to one of we avid followers and supporters, Frederica Halstein Davis. Thank you, and we're happy to have you here. And everybody else within the platform, please share with your network, so at least other people will benefit, from the conversation today. And love you ask your opinion as well, not to for just listen. We would like to hear your opinion on the issues that we will discuss today. So let's start with the EU report, T-Boy. Like you say, you say there's nothing new. But there's nothing new, and you're not surprised, but it's been a detailed report. So what are some of the key points that you pick out on this report where something you not been hearing before?
Honestly speaking, I haven't read it because, again, listening to the summary of the banters between the president representing the EU and in references the way they make is more or less echoing what I've already heard like a couple of months ago. Right. So I really did not take my time to read that amount of pages or even scroll through and pick up few points that are much more relevant, because my bone of contention is the fact that, yes, there's nothing wrong with writing down 80 pages worth of documentation for highlight the concerns of the European Union based on the election practices or malpractices of ECSL, the security apparatus, and the Peace Commission will possibly for mediate and make sure say things are done properly in the manner at which we all for benefit and we adhere to the people's votes and give them the rights for what they vote for. Yes, they've said all of that. They've highlighted the huge concern about the malpractices of the election itself. They highlighted the concerns of ECSL not being transparent and open up to certain criteria that we don't put across before the election. They were quite concerned to raise all the concerns of the security apparatus that has been brutal against civilians in terms of the election itself on the day, post and pre-election. So basically, they've seen it all, and it has been consistent from day one with Encarnas alone. They've been witnessing everything that has happened 6 months prior to election based on the registration. So they know exactly what has gone wrong, what hasn't gone wrong. They physically monitored the process of the registration themselves. Not so just then say and send people and say, we're going to represent. So they were there themselves. They had representation. They had a huge amount of people that came from all over the world or from all over Europe who were representing them in Sierra Leone, and they spread them out to the various different provinces that we have in Sierra Leone, manned by Sierra Leoneans themselves. So basically, they see everything that happens. Everything was unfolded in front of their own eyes. They saw the malpractices of the registration. They saw the registration processes that were not going on properly in certain areas that were marginalized. So they were no stranger to everything that has happened. So all what's in the long go through is all what has been written down into that 80-something pages of reports. But my question is, they always say, who pays the piper calls the tune, right? And we want to restore, or we want to apply, or we want to implement, or we want to make sure that democracy is prevailing in Sierra Leone. And we'll spend our money for make sure, say, be able to get free, credible, and fair election. If we don't go through all the process 6 months before election, on election day, and post-election, and we're still coming up with the same solution of what has gone wrong in all the findings, and then we still cannot do nothing about it, only to make a recommendation. For me, I will not say it's double standard. It is the fact that we haven't been able to execute our power as funders, because when you're funding something, you have to make sure that everything that you're funding should be done properly. So 2 things you would have said to me, if EUB don't come out and say openly, blatantly, we funded this election where everybody know, we monitor this election where everybody know, and the election that we monitored and fund hasn't gone the way we actually anticipated, based on the fact that myself, as in the EU, ECSL, as the Electoral Commission Sierra Leone, the government of Sierra Leone, the security apparatus of Sierra Leone, the Council of Elders of Sierra Leone, the Peace Commission of Sierra Leone, and the people of Sierra Leone, we all agreed, not individually, but collectively, we all agreed to follow this process so that we can have a credible, free, and fair, plus transparency within the election process of the 2023 election. That is what everybody agreed to. So if there are differences, not in one area because the election wasn't free and fair, another area the election wasn't transparent, another area the election has doomed to be uncredible or incredible. The only thing that justified this election is the fact that it was not violence. And the only reason why I think violence did not play a massive role in this election is because the people themselves agreed to say this election, Alexa, if we are fet, we say we need the fet back. We dey make sure say we peacefully go vote, even if we don't want to stop you from voting, we dey bear and patiently wait for make we vote the right thing. So the people were ready, and they were not ready to put up any fights whatsoever, even though they were disadvantaged, they were malign, some of them were put in a position that was compromising. They did not resist because they knew exactly what was the motive behind all this behind-the-scene aggression. One thing I would say is, pre-election, the country was extremely violent. There was a huge amount of violence being perpetrated against opposition, against people who are not in support of SFPP and whatsoever. That was extremely high. Pre-election. Election day, it was not even 5% compared to the amount of violence that were perpetrated against the civilians in Sierra Leone. I'm not saying Freetown, in Sierra Leone. Even at the eve of election, there were some stations in the provincial towns that did not have any representation for the opposition party. But election day, Nobody knows what happens because it was peaceful. Why? Because nobody was there to challenge them. Nobody was there to vote for the opposition. Nobody was there to represent the opposition. So what if they have decided to stand up and fight for themselves on that day? It will have been another bloodbath. So definitely they turned their backs and accepted it. Okay, fair enough. Post-election, we saw immediately after the announcement of the election what happened. Instantly, just within a couple of hours. And after that, it carries on for like a day or two, and it sees off. I don't know whether it came from authority from above or whoever made that decision for everything to be seized, but it just fades out. Behind the scenes, there are individual secret arrests being made here and there. And since then, we haven't seen no changes at all. So basically, as far as I'm concerned, the EU will have played a more pivotal role in this particular situation by calling the shots to say, who pays the piper calls the tune. Tough luck, but guess what? The mandate of the election hasn't been met. So for that reason, XYZZZ will be our recommendation going forward. I mean, when I listened to Bobby Wine a couple of days ago, his concern, traveling all over the world, is to make sure that Museveni's government actually collapse. Why? By stopping the international funders to fund corrupt politicians in his country. And that is literally what I think EU should be doing in Sierra Leone. Because funding Sierra Leone government is not going to make any difference. If at all they're going to fund the government, it's not going to make any difference. Because guess what? We have suffered the consequences of 5 years of deployed or deprived situation as Sierra Leoneans in Sierra Leone, regardless of the huge amount of funding that we have received. Nothing has changed. Health-wise, nothing has changed. Education-wise, nothing has changed. Infrastructure-wise, nothing has changed. Economy is poor, deploring. So another 5 years of funding Sierra Leone government is not going to make any difference there. So as far as I'm concerned, EU will have taken the stance to say, who pays the piper calls the tune. It is not about being diplomatic. Yes, we've done that diplomacy quite some time now, and I don't think diplomacy works sometimes in African countries. Because the reason why I'm saying that, it has been a consistent flow of acceptance. Okay, these governments are corrupt. But guess what? We have a duty, but they don't reciprocate that duty. So when somebody does not reciprocate their duties that you so dearly deserve, what do? In a relationship, if somebody don't give you back what you give, you hold back, right? In a business, if somebody don't give you back what you give, you hold back. So it's like a fair share deal we should be going into. And I don't think we should be pussyfooting around thinking, oh yeah, we have to do the diplomacy thing. We cannot say certain things. Yes, you're there. The reason why you are there is to make sure that the right thing is being done. That's why you're supervising things. Otherwise, there is no need for you to be there. Because you can still make a recommendation based on your hearsay or the people that you're sending on the ground that are there dealing with the situation. So as far as I'm concerned, the 85-page or whatever it might be EU report hasn't made any difference. It is not going to make any difference. It's like an acceptance of what has happened, and they are telling us to move on. Just like that. Okay, fair enough. But guess what? If you fund these people again, it means you are condoning the bad practices of democracy in Sierra Leone, to be specific. You are also condoning the confidence, the less confidence that the people of Sierra Leone have into the election system and the judiciary and the security apparatus. Nothing has been given back to the people of Sierra Leone that will restore their own sanity to say, okay, we can be here and feel safe. No, that hasn't been restored. Okay, we can still stay in Sierra Leone and have a better economy. No, that hasn't been restored. Okay, we can still be here and possibly have a proper electoral system that will work for us. Nothing has changed. It's business as usual. Let's move on and forget about it. We cannot be doing that because at the end of the day, if we continue to do this, it is going to be a reputation of an ongoing process that is not going to stop. We need to find a way to put an end to this. And how would that be? That's the question. That's the big question, Juma.
Well, T-Boy, you make salient points there. You highlight all the issues and concern and the questions where a lot of Sierra Leoneans they ask, because again, in all of this, what has changed or what will change for the people of Sierra Leone? I'm not talking about politicians. I'm talking about the people of Sierra Leone. In democracy, then say it, government works for by
For the people.
For by and of the people, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be. And then say one thing where we all share in Sierra Leone and every part of the world is one man, one vote. And except you're not president, where they measure for you 10 votes because you're not president. That's what we call equal rights, democratic rights. So, we all get rights to that as long as you meet the age and some of the conditions. But now people voted, and the whole world agree, even the one that way rogue, way cheats, then self agree, say the result did not reflect the will of the people of Sierra Leone. Then self agree. Because if they not be agree, ECSL for them pull the aggregated data for break and down, say polling station A, polling center A, na XYZ result na in comot there. District A, na XYZ result na in comot there. Before you go to a region, before you go to national. But the people of Sierra Leone were deprived of that. And like what you say, it's a bad precedent. There were recommendations made. This is not the first time Sierra Leone is holding a democratic elections. This is not the fifth or the sixth election since 1996, since the Second Republic of Sierra Leone, since 1996 to date. So how many elections? Is it 5 or 6, T-Boy?
It's about 5.
5 elections. And all the elections preceding this one, there were the recommendations made. But waiting happened during this election cycle surpassed everything that don't happen under elections in Sierra Leone since independence. The bad things that will happen under this election cycle. It supersedes all the bad things, everything that don't happen. Just imagine the worst things where you go think about, where you go down there and they narrate to you, grandpa, you papa, big people in your community, we go tell you, say, hey, elections, now so they happen. What happened in 2023 surpass all the negative things then. It's like it take me back to the days that where we not been to get elections. That's how sad it is. What people go feel, say, when you discuss this thing, where you say it, you are exaggerating, you're not hater of what you call progress, you are not patriotic and all of those things. That is not true. That is not true. First time where they get marble votes, even when they get marble votes, where they rogue, then they won't know say then they rogue. Then still they tell you almost vote you get at each polling station. The person where they step down, if they come out and announce, say even if not coercion, if they come out and announce, say, I am stepping down. So this person they win unopposed. But this one, a one-way tell we say, we will steal your votes. Nothing will come out of it. Mr. Madabio, they go unopposed. We they by force make what do you call the thing? Midterm census for skew the numbers, so we go divide boundaries. Even where it's illegal, World Bank come and say we they pull out. They cared less. They cared less. So what make I mention that? All of this did not happen on June 24th, 2023. It was a build-up, calculated efforts, well-planned, orchestrated for, say, Mr. Madabio for go for second time by hook or by crook, by all means necessary, he go kick anything where they beef before him, even to his own detriment. And he believes, say, he will get away with it. And that is where we are today. The EU report, like I say, I been discussed with a certain group of people. I say, it's like, it don't make no difference like everything that the Solomon prayer, Lord left the case to God. That's exactly what happened. Sure. So, I can't choke you, then I know say I beg you back, he left buff. Then I bluff back to you. I bluff. But this is a shame for Sierra Leone. It's a shame for the sub-region. It's a shame for the world. If somebody can tell you now, say, not believe in democracy, you're not there for full time. Because what's the difference? Why must I practice democracy where I know, say, already somebody go don't tell me, say, I they rig, I they do everything for make sure, say, I tilt everything in my favor. Then me say, no, more, me, I believe I they wait for democracy because me not a Democrat. Why? Why? But waiting and can say, what goes around comes around. It will come back to bite you when you least expect it. But they say, hello, Sabi. And you see the arrogance that is going on, T-boy. In as much as they know what they do, then still they go on and brag about it as well. You have certain people the way they put now buttercup position, the way they get title and put mantle. Because again, I just want to remind viewers, we decide not for comment on any government activities as, because we still not think, say, the will of the people. Now we get so. So we reserve that until we such term reach, then we will begin to scrutinize certain things. And we are reaching to that soon. But if you get certain people, when not full up Tamatis cup, they go sit on a television because they give a small title and put back to say, and they tell you now with authority, say, election be don't happen, there's not going to be a rerun ever, we're not going to get anything again. Anybody who can't tell you any different, then they mislead you now. Yeah. You bulldoze your way. You think you're tough, but you know not see you not Tamatis cup. Empty Tamatis cup back. Yes, empty Tamatis cup. Whether they kick inside gutter, there has been others before you. You term go reach. Nobody not been there talk past Lima. Lima been talk like my own salon. Where is he today? Where is Lima today? Tell me about.
On record or off you?
Both.
No, I will let them first.
All right, reserve them. So somebody not full up Tamatis cup. Now they stop. They talk, boast. But again, the same Mr. Madabio we been saying when I sovereign states. Now the same one we say in welcome and commend and accept the result, the report. So how you go accept report from an outside organization where you be don't say, why make you not kick them come on at your office? Tell them say I don't care about when I report, you check them before they say when I sovereign state, who dare you or can give a report? Who dare you?
But that's not the double standard of what they happen. Because at the end of the day, to me, I sound like if you not say you're big enough, why take on criticism from somebody else?
Exactly.
Because I will not accept that criticism because I know for sure what you're saying is not true. Don't come to my office. Don't come to me. I don't really want to see you.
Yeah, because you mean I sovereign state. Who that night for
he deny the American state government before election results, but not now. So if you can call a shot then, where you don't take power yet, why would you not call a shot now when you are in the office of
down?
If you're not being called the shots then, or you call the shots then, where you say, oh, you refuse to accept the call of the American state government.
Yeah.
Or made them stop you not for announce the results.
Let you call and let them stop for announce the result. Yeah.
You refuse. You say no, you can't do that because you don't have control over that.
Yeah.
So how now they can't take a report where somebody don't actually damn you government
on the same
criticize you electoral commissioner. They don't criticize you security apparatus. They don't criticize you judiciary. They don't criticize you people the way they represent you say they're not transparent enough. And you fool wholeheartedly.
And even tell you say you not get 55% for win elections. You did not win the election.
I will not accept a report like that. So you are accepting the facts, say everything we do on that report is true. Yeah. Are you going to debunk it tomorrow, next week, next year, or when you think is necessary? Because as far as I'm concerned, what comes from outside, they can't criticize me inside my country and then I accept them.
So listen to this, T-boy. Stallone, sorry. The first time, like I say, what happened within this election cycle, not ever happen in our country. Mr. Madabio say one thing, Dr. Jules Dejalo say completely different thing. Then contradict each other. Mr. Madabio saying welcome the report, he agree, he accept them. Dr. Jules Dejalo say the report bias, they're not supposed for write and so therefore provide technical recommendations and which he call about them provide political. But then it saddened me for see somebody with a work at the international arena. We go school, get PhD and everything. For talk say a report on a political process, not for sound political.
If for sound technical, become an engineer, then fixer.
Yes, if for sound technical, not for sound political, but now political process they talk about. Because election, democracy, everything what they talk about is based on politics. Insai the reports, no, what you call them because it no sound technical. If for sound technical.
Okay, so what were the technical recommendation he was expecting?
That for mention say. Well, I mean, don't know what they talk about. I for mention say the election was rigged, not transparent. They no get 55%. The government not pass cyber law for stifle the process. Government institution them, including members of permanent secretaries, directors. Then they use government vehicles for go campaign. Then they use government money for go campaign. The president then use government functions for campaign, even though they not be done declare campaign yet. They use government funds, the taxpayers' money for fund election campaigns. Police then they support government, military they support government, the incumbent. All of those things that enough for talk about. But what was it? Was it true or lie? He not saying a lie, he just said enough for talk about that thing. That's
so
what he's.
If you're making a political recommendation, who said he left all the one in there?
Now for that. And now 21 recommendations they make. 21 recommendations. Salon for be ashamed. Then now we say we go teach other people about democracy. Then they can't compete for this and that. We don't pay. We don't rebrand Sierra Leone. Salon only become, we are a young democracy. We are the rig. We are stifle the process. We say we are a young democracy. American democracy don't hold. But when they can't hold on accountable, we say no. When I sovereign state, we able to do everything for we say nobody know for teach you about democracy. What are you saying? What do you want the people of Sierra Leone to believe? But like you stated, the report, good recommendations, but me just feel say the recommendation then just embolden the people in the corridors of power for continue for jeopardize for continue for suppress the people of Sierra Leone. That is all. And how these reports do. Because the recommendations then they can now, then they can make, then they can do a constitutional review. We the predicts now waiting here for happen. And people not like that. Because all waiting we say before elections and the process, now we see so. Nothing. Nothing not left behind. Everything will predict how they therefore do the process, also how they regulate everything and put it. Everything that we talked about over the years, where people have they can't cause win also. Now we see so with we are. And we they predict back what in the happen. The next year they can't see. Then they can make constitutional review, then change the term limit from 5 years to 7 years. Then they pull the term limit for, say, somebody in a president can team up for as many terms as possible, not to only 2 terms they come out. Then they can make for let independent candidates them stand as president. So what's in there for happen? Now let's take, for example, the APC. Where 28 people now the APC run, then they choose one as flag bearer, the other is going to run, and then 7 can go declare as candidates or be presidential candidates. So you see the pattern, that's the line where then they go. Because with the SLPP side, for example, I'm mentioning the 2 main political parties because are the 2 big parties than that. The SLPP side, they don't kill and don't nobody not get for team up again. SLPP is done and dusted. SLPP is just a name. SLPP has been hijacked and owned by family.
Why you say that? You make a laugh when you talk the word. SLPP is done and dusted.
It's done and dusted. Tell me, when are the last time they call SLPP executive meeting?
Well,
National.
It hasn't happened for 5 years, both outside and inside Sierra Leone.
Thank you.
Because the party not function in the UK anymore, sir.
Thank you very much. When did Mr. Badabio last went to the SLPP office? That's where they go sing, Gwe Fatma Tasawane sing. That was the last time.
Yeah.
From that same day, ever again. From where they hold the last convention. The last
convention. The older convention, do you?
Right. So from where the older convention, what did they do at the convention? The convention was what? Endorsement.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Endorse Mr. Madabio as the presidential candidate of the SLPP and leader. After that, when are the last we ever hear or anything? I want you lucky, I let you remember with SLPP right now. Who that? We believe in self, we get for team up, say the one for be presidential candidate for SLPP. Tell me, I want you lucky right now.
Hardin?
Huh?
Prince Hardin?
Whose part? The man don't tell you say they know they ever hand over power to APC.
Ali Kaba?
Now side they pass.
We say make a call, they call names them.
Pass.
John Benjamin?
Lord God. Okay, let me tell you now what has happened with the SLP.
Go on.
And we are not trying to deviate, but this all...
No, this is as important as the same thing.
In tune with what they talk, say, yeah. This report just don't embolden the people at the corridors of power for turn Sierra Leone to a one-party state. Firstly, look at what Mr. Madabio has done. Let's take, for example, say, in governments continue, right? He continue as president, the people that we appoint continue as ministers. What have you seen? What are the changes we don't see?
In what? In circle of
everything. Okay. So what he has done, everybody will feel say worth the salt, where something get chance for challenger
has been eliminated.
They don't pull all our government. All. And what he do, he bring them outside. Bring them Kanya as what?
Advisor.
Advisors, right? Ordinary advisors. So you have no power. You're not advisor to me, but you go be advisor to me, but you can even call me if I no answer. That's what happens in Sierra Leone. I'll only call you when I need you, or I will make sure say they get you $5,000 a month, then give you a motka, they get 10-liter fuel a week, or how many liter? The 40-liter fuel. You get one bodyguard with you. Then obviously we'll get state function or we'll get activities. Then give you VIP table. That's it. That is all. So now appeasement position them. Look at the people that are within our ministries. I want to tell me who's one person will get a political base, or we get 5 people in BNM. If they pull that person in that position, would I go get two midgets that we go there around ourselves say, would they support you for be president? 2 midgets, dwarf, they will go there. The moment he pull anyone in a position, that's the end of you. Yeah. So they're only answerable to who? To Mother Bill and in WEF. So now, so it don't kill the SLPP. SLPP is done and dusted, fail. And at the point it goes so with the APC. And the APC, like I tell you, the moment they pull that term limit, or we change the constitution and put 7 years, that means they get for rule force for they get for rule for another 2 years. Plus 2020, then I was 2028, 29, 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now 2030, so we remember for get elections. They will get election that same day. Where APC go get a flag bearer by 2026. The one that we're not happy, then say anybody can team up for being flag bearer as independent candidate. Then say grab them, go team up. Then waiting to happen at the end of the day. Could I go give $1 million here, $2 million, so you buy them for the losses? Then she don't serve when time reach and say, okay, well, when I be the support master, they be the old banner for me, they beat Gumbe for me, you know, we'll all support who that, Mother Bill. Then they wait to the eve to the elections. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I see your philosophy outside the go, and I totally not disagree with you on so many grounds we don't make example of, because again, it's about physical evidence. And when I say physical evidence now, within the first 5 years of SLPP government in office, the changes that we will see in cabinet or in positions of authority has never surfaced again. They just went silent and just died out in the wilderness. Again, like you mentioned, Sierra Leoneans Lima was a voice to be reckoned with on radio, on television, on every platform where you can consider or think of that is political and in representation for the SLPP political party. Again, don't fade out to the wilderness. So there are huge amounts of names that we are going to call we in there within the first 5 years. Not to say they complete the first 5 years, but their names have never resurfaced in any position whatsoever. They haven't complained. They haven't gone nowhere. They're still in Sierra Leone, some of them, and they still support the current situation as it stands. So I see where you're going with it, and I totally believe, say for sure, yes, that is the direction of what the SLPP is going to be like. But you clearly don't highlight the other concerns. If constitution is going to be changed anyway, then one of me concerned, but we will cancel down the way they cancel some of the assumption of voting, I feel, say, APC as a political party for dialogue for. I don't know whether it will be appropriate to discuss that, but I think I will be in the position to express my opinion on that dialogue. I don't know how you see that, but I think we'll cancel that idea. I'll be able to make some of my own recommendation based on dialogue. What thing I will seek if I was in the position of APC as a political party and we sit on a table for get a discussion for how we move the country forward with every political party and the people of Sierra Leone for benefit. It's not just about the political parties, but also the people of Sierra Leone. Because
well,
you don't have to do anything.
That is the thing. Namika said, this is not about a political party and not about politics. The people who lose now this whole process are the people of Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
Because now them vote and them votes not count.
Yeah.
Voice not count. It don't mean nothing to anybody. That's exactly what has happened. And this don't set bad precedent. It don't left bad taste now people them out. And again, like you say, now the people of Sierra Leone and the All People's Congress only get a way for rescue Salone from this. And I'm not saying this based on a partisan voice, but they say I'm based on the danger we face. We have been saying all the things that we've said in 5 years. People let me underestimate them. But everything come to pass. We see how things them happen, whether you like it or not, but these are the realities in Sierra Leone. With democracy, don't die. Not all the time these people they talk for dialogue and make peace. When since 1996, don't begin get democracy, T-boy. Who say they then call the opposition, they can't dialogue with governments of Sierra Leone?
No, never.
Never. Even where we don't see situation under the APC government, where the opposition, they get problem, they get rifts between themselves. The president then, President Kuma, they do it. He call them. He go talk to them for make peace. What did he do next? He went to their party office. He drive go to their party office, SLPP party office. He went there for show waiting. For sure, say we are in this together. I still respect you as an opposition. We're not in at the same side, but I respect you now. One follow on a thrive. If we don't have a formidable opposition, our democracy is doomed and Sierra Leone will continue for go before. But we have seen and witnessed statements from the president, Mr. Madabio, during campaign, openly. They go and tell people and say, if one vote come out now for the opposition, for SLPP, one vote, una the chief them and the people in us una go answer to me. IWEF say the same thing. That all aside, post-elections, where una don't rogue, una don't do all thing. The chairman of the SLPP team map na a podium and record and say, we say they tell una this. APC not the ever kind of power. We not the ever hand over power to APC. Then he say we're in a multi-party democracy. We not the ever hand over power. That would be the last thing we'll do. The later I can say, on a joke, it be the joke. You the joke?
Which kind of joke, Randy?
You the joke with that kind of thing, and they. But we dey see the pattern. Like I said, you are not full up Tamatis cup. Go say, as far as in concern, and they talk out with authority. Look you. You go copy and paste, you read, you cram them there, you can't talk. You say you don't be what you color. Talk with authority. The Minister of Local Government, then say then get dialogue, they happen. You dey go announce, say, then they swear in people in a local government. Hey, Papa God.
They say they don't get new mayor.
Well, they say they don't get acting mayor.
Okay.
Why
we'll
SLPP they say the acting mayor? So well, that ought to show you that you say you believe in dialogue, you allow dialogue, allow push Salongo before. But you still carry on with business as usual. They do all the wrong things the way you do it, lead with Tosa with this. So you they tell we say you care less, you don't want to know. Everybody F off. I will do and we will do what we want. What we say.
But that's practically what is happening anyway. Now make I say, I don't know what's the essence of the dialogue, because that dialogue then I see more don't see in Freetown. We don't perform right in front of we have been demonstrating how the chairman of the Peace Commission, they monitor or they actually run the dialogue meeting we will be seeing in front of the international observers, in front of local observers, and both political parties present, and ECSL and the religious council as well. And these are all the players of politics in Sierra Leone right now as we speak. And they were all present when the chairperson for the Peace Commission or whatever it might be, they talk to people that for say in a living room.
The PPRC one.
Yes. Can you imagine? I was thinking, really? Now this came up some on whatever. Because as far as me concerned, if not the same bunch of people and they come back for facilitate or coordinate this particular dialogue session, we then say then they get starting from tomorrow, it's a waste of time. It's a pure waste of time because things are moving on. As far as this government is concerned, election done, then don't announce them for be the winner, then they do whatever they need for do. Go die on a tough luck, go die, kill yourself, shoot yourself in your foot, or whatever you might need to do to yourself is your bloody problem. We don't care about you. We're running the government, and we're running it as we like, as we feel. We the appoint, we don't need for appoint, we the select, we don't need for select, and we run the government as we like. Whether EU funding come, American funding come, tough to all of that. We don't give a toss. No bananas is shaking here. So basically, all we need for do or focus on what we do and do. But guess what? Even that, they're not doing it. So like I say, we cannot talk about government because as far as me concerned, this is the biggest joke in African politics. The biggest joke. And then they say West Africa, in African politics, we've never seen such joke. Because not only in Salon no more, you get such kind of representation, we're full of inexperience. You give people a chance for kind of experience with people in life. Really? I don't see that.
But if you are inexperienced but you're willing to learn, is different. But when you come,
you need a car with an inexperienced doctor, not a theater for save life. You're not gonna bring this way.
Can I tell you something? If you bring somebody who is inexperienced but willing for learning the process,
you don't understudy.
Well, that he go exactly. That he go say it better.
You understudy.
You bring somebody who is arrogant, is stupid at the same time. You understand, and not care about himself because they fail to understand. Say if the people na book not get good hospital, now in people and they suffer. They not get clean drinking water, they not get lights, they not get good road. This I talk about Bona, they go now the southeast, and I'm deliberate about it. This now for sure say you not even like you self. Forget about that, they not vote for you, where you not get a relationship with. You go and boast back to people that we will deliver. You see, I man, yes man. You go around, you go write them book, radical inclusion. What's it called? Radical inclusion. Yeah, I know the word they use now. Yeah, they're deliberate. They are disrupting the process. They let them big full language. They throw away. You disrupt someone and not even get team for it.
Yeah, but there is no process. What you disrupt?
Exactly. You're
disrupting nothing that stands.
There's nothing
You're
to
disrupting
disrupt.
what? There is no process. Okay, what is the process? What's the way forward? What's the process? What do you have in place? What are some of the apparatus that you think will work and will not work? There are no tangibles. They are just...
We will deliver. Which you they deliver? Hardship.
Tangibles. Well, again, now you see where you get a nation. Because I'm not going to say Salon as a nation, we are not educated. I totally disagree with that. Politics don't make everybody don't become very clued up about how they run businesses. Because even the businessman at Salon self possibly sabi run your own business past politicians. When you claim to be a politician, when you claim to be a minister, when you claim to be a member of parliament, and you cannot execute your duties for the representation of what you supposed to be, then you're not relevant. You're definitely not relevant. Because as far as I'm concerned, a politician should be looking at, okay, a member of parliament or whoever it is. As long as you are in governance, you should be looking after the affairs of the people that are in your community. whether roads, health, education, infrastructure, and other job creation and the rest. Yeah. Again, I know I could go down into what we discuss for digress in terms of what's in this current situation we find ourselves.
No, we can't just now. We can't just
Because to me, it doesn't really make any sense. I cannot stand the fact, say, the country is being led by people who don't have a clue of how to run even their household. The country is being led by people who don't have a clue to manage their small family structure.
So say themselves, manage yourself first.
Forget themselves first, because we able for, because to me,
how manage yourself, how you manage small family?
It's about showboating about what you think. Then what you think, say you're capable of, is different from what you are executing. Because I don't understand. Well, Juma, when was the last time you saw your sex key of information? Now, someone what they call it. Yeah. Sex key of state for whatever, for education, for example. When was the last time you saw him on television?
You don't remember again, no. America, where big so now 15, what's it call and get 15. 15. We go, okay, if we're equivalent to ministers, now 15 then get.
You know the reason why I ask you?
Yeah.
Now, because we spend 90% of our resources on live television, in Sierra Leone. That is where we work. We offices them from, well, I will only pull Mr. Bio. Apart from him, say filter down to 0, 90% of the time spent on social media platforms talking about what we can do. What you can do with the can.
See, but I can tell you, say, I man, yes, man, all day in social media.
I don't understand.
Because all day social media, they say radical inclusion. I don't the chief's diary poweting, pass business. No car with photocopying. You don't there as director of, now they call it in, head of innovation and technology. One pin you not make for government.
Imeko not talk so.
Which one?
3D printer.
Huh?
Oh, not to make, I mean, I can't.
Wait till make.
He buy one 3D printer for the.
No, you say, who's I make? Who's part?
No, he buy one.
You say, go right now online and buy 3D printer.
The thing that amazed me so much, everybody has a specialty, right? Mm-hmm. If you study law, your specialty is to become a lawyer, either defense or prosecution or business law or family or whatever it might be. Not so you have various different branches. Okay. We are media practitioners. Our expertise are laid out in so many different areas. We discuss things, we do documentaries, we do XYZ, we do magazine, newspaper, and whatever it is. That is our specialty. We have various different ways. Okay. So if you get a profession as an engineer, what should be my expectation of you? Is to tell me how much, possibly, if you're a construction engineer, you construct infrastructure. It might be roads, it might be bridges, it might be house, it might be other forms of construction. We get for do with physical elements, yeah? And they expect you for don't do something. And then we hire man in profession now for produce prosthetic legs, right?
False foot, yeah.
How many amputees do we have in Sierra Leone?
We have the highest level, apart from possibly Angola and other places there, but we get the highest number of amputees in the world.
Okay, what sort of creative elements of reducing the people that will not get access to prosthetic legs in Sierra Leone?
None.
Okay. In Nigeria, not even people that will study out of Nigeria. These are Nigerians studying in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Are producing state-of-the-art prosthetic legs and arms for disabled individuals to the extent that they're even creating body parts now, like ears, nose, fingers, thumbnails, toes, and full limbs and full legs. These are non-European based inventors, right? So are they expecting...
Not studying at Harvard, MIT, or anything?
Not at all. Not at all. So are they expect somebody of in caliber, where in speciality, now for invents or create way how you produce prosthetic legs for disabled people, which we have a lot in Sierra Leone, and I haven't seen a single element of it. You have all the resources, you have all the connections, you have all the funds that are in front of you, and you haven't been able to do one. It questions me to say,
make the man really chief innovation officer.
Innovate what? Because the database collection where it puts together for 5 years is not even functioning well online. Forget that, because we spent our time to investigate that more than 10 times, and we still cannot navigate to nothing other than we are going to places where you bring out somebody for come, do a survey. Now, say, one day can wait, no one writes it about.
Boy, the government of Sierra Leone does not have a functioning website. Government of Sierra Leone. And then they talk about template website. I talk about functioning website where they work for Sierra Leone.
And that's not been the former minister of information. The former minister of information. I clarify that.
You know, they go online right now. You go able to fulfill any form online and get real.
That is the former minister of information. I publicly, internationally confirm that.
Confirm that they say when they say they block the internet, and he say they don't get email. Therefore, don't send them to a private email.
And then they make it clear. So sorry, the State House has a link. That has a communication line, an email server that they will send direct message to. Who manages that? Oh, we didn't see it. So that just shows how dysfunctional the system are. But anyway, let's move on.
Now you go and pass all over the place. You say they bring you call startup them for Kana Salon for can do it. They say we will deliver. Deliver with it. They tell you for deliver, you not deliver.
But how can you use volunteers to deliver in Sierra Leone?
Well, that's the question again.
How? How can volunteers actually come to Sierra Leone and deliver? Deliver what? And what are they coming to volunteer to do?
It's the saddest thing where I see. But we'll come down on our side. The so-called anti-corruption commissioner.
We still get one?
Huh?
We still get one?
Well, now we don't have one because you have one with title, but they on study leave. Anti-corruption commissioner, they on study leave. They study in Harvard on $100,000 scholarship.
We still get one.
Then there's also Asiam, they claim they pick apple in Harvard. Then they bluff back, then they bluff. Say once a farmer is always a farmer. They pick apple. Salon, who stay last year apple? The apple they will get a salon. Not now import, then they import the apple. Then they import apple. They didn't Harvard. Harvard, when I Harvard school picking them garden, and then they pick apple, then they smile by, you see me apple, why they pick, I don't pick one bag apple.
They can talk about some more.
No, you know, it's the audacity we then get.
You know what I mean? Talk about.
No, it's make, I know. The nerve we then get for stupid people.
I know,
how
you know,
you
that's
have
sad.
Someone that gets paid almost 50 million leons a month. Now that high caliber position, they send them on study leave. When they on study leave, it's still again 50 million a month. They know they do nothing. They're on $100,000 scholarship.
Only
so
in Sierra Leone.
Now the only qualified person that one day for do that work. Only in Sierra Leone.
So basically, at the moment, we don't have an anti-corruption commissioner.
We don't have. Nope. So it's a free fall. You know, obviously, they don't get any people that win an episode and get for one again. and not to teacher there again, because now the education system now they run, so that they will go say they bribe the school picking there. You know, for one at a teacher they hang placard panel a cutting tree, you know, get APC people there for one at a, so now to themselves who they will catch for corruption. So he hasn't got a job right now. They gave him $100,000, go study, and we'll still paying you your 50 million with full benefit while you're studying for a whole year or 2 years.
Wow.
They will come back, you can't cack on a back. But again, we surprised why we do how we did. No. And a lot move to the topic, you know.
Definitely not surprised. But for summarize the EU report, sorry, to me, you know, old water, actually they defend what they stand for, and I don't feel to say it could be anything we could make a difference in the recommendation. Already, don't get Mr. Dr. Jules there, we don't the bond camp say they're not supposed to put any kind of political recommendations there. There should be something on technicality, which I don't understand what he means.
I just say the bond could Dr. Jules Jallo disagree with him boss.
Well, he got disagree with him boss, but him boss nine at the final person where they say whatever he needs to say.
So they're not saying it.
He don't accept the recommendation with full support, and he agree and he receive them wholeheartedly, and that's what he's going to accept and move on with.
And the interesting part, Dr. Jules Jallo na the way they're in charge with the responsibility, according to Mr. Bio, say if we lead the electoral reform process. So the process where you for lead, you already don't condemn some of the 21 recommendations that we don't come in. That just don't show, say, you have no interest in implementing any of those.
Well, it's not going to implement none. Because like you say, when they lead a task force for find out about whatever they happen, or when they lead a task force for revive an institution and you feel to say don't do the best of what you feel to say able to do, and somebody else come not to fully examine what you don't do, now partially, because they don't have full rights to certain areas of what in the military for put a report based on, because they still haven't seen the breakdown of the voter registration or these aggregated reports from the voters them. So that hasn't been included in the report at all because they haven't seen it in physical at all. So that does not exist. So what's in the preview to now possibly the thing that we already did in the public domain, and then just review and make those recommendations based on what they've seen in the public domain or what's in themselves done experience in person, or what's in them feel to say now some of the analysis of what's in them puts together during their investigation. So basically, if we haven't been able to accept that and work on the basis of what we have been given, then we are in total denial of that. So that should not have been the recommendation that was meant to be made towards the election. Then what is it? And what are we going to execute? Or what are we going to work on? So if we have Mr. Bio accepting one thing and then Dr. Jules there is saying otherwise, I will get a match situation and find a solution towards that. So to me, the EU report will not make any difference. It's not going to make much change in terms of the position we don't take from.
Well, say not going to make positive change.
Well, it will make positive change, and the positive change way it will make, I feel, or possibly I assume, now if they choose or decide to possibly withhold certain funding based on the criteria of those funding, because most of the funding that we're supposed to cancel alone based on the EU funding is based on democracy. And if democracy...
recommendations are not binding.
Recommendations are not binding. I'm not saying the recommendations. What I'm saying is some of the funding them, they have a tag based on democratic practices, right? And human rights practices, right? And also concerns about gender-based, right?
Right, just like the compacts where the MCC compact where they withhold
if one of those criteria are not met in terms of creating funding for certain institutions in Sierra Leone, the funding will come true. Because if those fundings and the criteria are not met for those funding, now like a UN organization, then they get certain criteria in the fund for. And if you don't meet the threshold of those criteria, they will not fund you. It's as simple as that. Or basically, as a nation, we don't ever go for the 100% funding because we not get the criteria then for go for 100% funding. So they give us maybe peanuts of the funding. But the fact still we're able to meet the threshold, so we take maybe 20%.
Or 10%.
And that 20% they actually go down to the actual beneficiaries then. It only stays at the level of administration and that's it, because it's not enough. So that is why we always have unfinished projects or unfinished issues that we do in Salon or Africa to be precise, especially in Sierra Leone. We're not able to meet the threshold for full-scale UN or EU or American funding because we're not able to pass all those criteria. So we have boundaries. So for example, if the recommendations are not going to make any difference, fine, no problem. The EU are not going to force us to make those recommendations. What they are going to do is probably restrict the funding that we're supposed to get. We will meet all the threshold and they. So if the threshold of, for example, democracy hasn't been met to the fullest, there is no transparency, no credibility, no free and fair form of democracy in Sierra Leone, then they will just do the bare minimum. And the bare minimum will be the bare minimum for meet that threshold, which might be 20% of the funding. But why do we have to rely on funding if we claim to be a sovereign state and we can deal with our own situation? We don't seek. We don't need to seek for foreign funding because the foreign funders, the way they fund we, and then back they tell you, say we do wrong, and they disclaim, they say, so we will not tell you what to do. So to me, now double situation will defend itself. So the EU reports, yes, it might be good, it might be something we'll go forward for, but guess what? It makes no difference because it takes me back to 0-1. And we don't get back to 0.0, it means we start all over again and wait for 2028. But we might not even wait for 2020, we'll wait for 2030. That's the proposed next.
Or maybe 20 nothing.
Exactly. Because if we squeeze everybody out of nothing, we have a one-party state. What happens in Sierra Leone? We go back to square one. And we don't think we want to go back to square one. So,
well, thank you so much, Famulem, where they listen will be to talk about the EU, the reports, findings, and recommendations for the elections we happen June 24, the 85-page report, as well as 21 recommendations them. Well, they've done their parts. They're not to salon, not to their own salon. They can only help so much. And like T-Boy say, the day with the entire, if they don't try for put their mouth outside their money, they not just put their money outside their mouth, then they put their mouth outside their money already there. If they don't try for do that, and we think, say, as a people, as a country, we are okay with the status quo, we're okay with the affairs of things, so be it. Who are they? They're not going for council person, no. Not so then they do them for we. We are Sierra Leoneans. You understand? If you never come, you can watch, comment say, hey, you beat you picking pass mark, or they are not beat and pass mark, no, I they bully your family, so take care, take them. They tell them, say no to them business, when I go mind on a business, even though sometimes you then I use, you not getting for it, now that you neighbor. Now I can give you one plate, the mondo you small way cook, you send for you small. Then you decide, say, not put much by business at your family. All you can do now for decide not for send for you small again because you know go alone at jamot. You go left here your family. So it's up to you picking them, you wife and other people there now. If they want for die with angry, they want for die with the suppression, or they go decide for now we go to police. It's up to them what they want to do. So it's the same thing with this whole election observation and report. They're not force post, and that's the honest truth. But we should be ashamed as a people for be proud enough for say, who done a person for can't tell me I did do it I feel for do, even if not the wrong things. Who takes pride in doing the wrong things? Only the few people at the helm of power right now. But like I say, there were others before you, both in Sierra Leone and outside Sierra Leone. We see how they end. Timini Pambulen can say, how Papa God let the ending fine.
You want to talk about Timini?
No, not today, not today. I know it's it. Why I will before talker.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, say let the ending fine. So we dey pray, let the ending fine. Now we mean well for Salo, let God continue for guide and cover una.
I mean,
With the bad intention for oppress and suppress the people of Sierra Leone, let thy will be done. On this way, we only dedicate all things to God because we not God no more. Get no so boy.
not true.
What is the law?
We left we case to God, and God know what the first for you. But
Yes.
what we give first for ourselves. We left we case to God, you don't pass mark now, bro.
Yes. The level case to go. So I will switch in case instead of we go to the economy, let's go to the APC situation standoff right now and the ongoing dialogue. They'll finish that up. They'll talk about the state of the economy. Because the state of the economy, that one is a big one, you know. So let's go. So we understand Pambule from all this. Now we don't see the report, the EU reports, okay? And everything stated in there don't clearly show for say the All People's Congress Party, the APC, gets full reason for cry foul on the process and the outcome of the elections. You know, reflect the will of the people. They do so many things then for tilt things one way, and state institutions then enable, you know, the government for able to rig the election and make a coup against democracy. So the APC, as a step for say they're not left their case to God, then decide say they're not going to parliament, they're not going to council, then just they sit down until the right thing is done. We hear some people criticize them, some people support them, some people doubt. Right now, we there, nobody know what is happening. But the one clear thing, up until today, the APC as a party refused for going to parliament. Then people are wait and say they win under the proportional representation system, still not go take their seat in parliament, with the exception of two people, Mohamed Bangura and Alfred Thompson. So those two people, the APC recently put out a statement, say then they investigate them, then they do internal party investigation. And we don't see another statement where say they have been suspended from the party until the investigation is completed based on the initial finding. So that's where we are at. We know say Mohamed Bangura and Alfred Thompson, they're in parliament, but at this moment, we don't know that they represent the. Are they representing themselves? Or are they representing the APC? I will hand them over to T-Boy.
Well, a good way you bring and come from that point, the Juma, because the question you asked now whether Mohamed Bangura and Alfred either they represent themselves or then they represent APC. But what you not talk now whether then they represent SLPP either, because if you don't, it's true. Because if you not represent yourself, you not represent APC, then you're representing SLPP. It's like an indirect statement where they make, but guess what? All their participation has been on SLPP's platform. They've been given position to represent themselves under the SLPP umbrella. Because by rights, parliament may possibly expel them because they're not representing their political parties if they are under suspension. That's not what in the PR system states. Say. You're representing a political party in parliament. If the political party gets any dispute with you, it means your seat in parliament is suspended until you resolve the issue with your political parties. The good thing is they're not representing themselves. The people did not vote for them physically. The people voted for the political parties who appoints them to represent APC in parliament. So if APC gets any bone of contention with those two members of parliament and they are officially suspended according to you, now the political party wing, it means they should not be representing any political party in parliament. But if they continue to sit in parliament, it means they're not representing themselves, they are representing SLPP. Because How can you represent yourself in a political parliament without a political party? You cannot. Can you? You cannot. So basically, you're representing a political party, and that political party that you're representing is SLPP. Because you are...
You just mentioned one thing again, where I've been there for touch on later, but just something come up now while to the mention. See, Mohamed Bangoura is also in the ECOWAS parliament. Yeah, I call him, what do you name? Emerson Lamina. So now they all two go na parliament, now the ECOWAS parliament. So say Salon, all the regions where they within, all the countries that where they within the sub-region, they send representatives at the ECOWAS parliament. We always had Honorable Chairman Ramadan Majuba as head of delegation for Sierra Leone. He done did it for 3 terms, and also Manley Spain, lawyer Manley Spain, and also Veronica Davis, I think, or Veronica Cisse, and a few more others that will be done they go, and CD Mohamed Tunis, and them done they go at parliament. So with that, they always can get members from the opposition as well as the other parties there. We can get Honorable Samaide as well at some point, but I'm not sure he's there anymore. So now we too don't see, then say na Mohamed Bangoura and Emerson Lamina, and then they swear in for being part of the Salon delegation at ECOWAS Parliament. So they're going there as what? But as members of the Sierra Leone Parliament, which is fine. But the unfortunate thing, where then they spin the thing, then say, Honorable Mohamed Bangoura, now the leader of delegation for the APC, na ECOWAS Parliament. And ECOWAS Parliament not get APC SLPP. Well, they get members of parliament from Sierra Leone. I mean, then say delegation from Sierra Leone. And when they refer to Honorable Chairman Ramadan Majuba, they say leader of the Sierra Leone delegation at ECOWAS Parliament. They say leader of the APC Parliament, member of Parliament at ECOWAS. So they like for play with words, then for confuse them. So that don't have for like a throw in for thinking, say, then go able for attract other people within the APC for say, okay, on a call I can't join at the benefit.
Yeah, but they're only talking to the stupid APCians or the stupid Sierra Leoneans who doesn't know exactly what in the ECOWAS Parliament stand for. That's all they're doing. And guess what? We might have a lot of them out there. We go fall for them crap then they. But they know what they're doing. They're playing with these words because they want to fool other people. And as far as I'm concerned, you go only allow for do that. But guess what? Me believe those two people are not credible enough. I will say that authoritatively. Emerson Lamina and Mohamed Bangoura are the least of credible representation with Salon Descent on any side because they both have betrayed their political rights. So as far as I'm concerned, they will not represent Sierra Leone out of Sierra Leone.
What do you mean? For we not understand or we not sabi?
For we not understand, it's simple. Emerson Lamina was the leader of the opposition where he been in C4C. He betrayed his own political party for his own self-benefit. Okay, because as far as I'm concerned, if you can betray your political party, will make you who you are, you're not going for support anybody else, or you're not going for nobody else not going to be. What's not the guy's fault?
Seek anybody else's interest.
You don't go seek anybody else's interest because, as far as I'm concerned, your interest is paramount. And these two individuals don't exercise that reality. They say everything they have done in life is in their interests. Of course, we know Mohamed Bangoura starts in political career. He's been jumping ship from one to the next, to the next, to the next, right up to the 11th hour in the jump ship. For go outside, feel to say it could be comfortable. So I'm not surprised. But to me, the sad thing is the fact that you get these two individuals who don't be together in political parties, not to 1 10, not to 2 10, to 3 10, and then they use back for represent we now the ECOWAS Parliament. What do they expect from them? It looks like they are outspoken individuals, but no, they are not. They are betrayals. And you don't deal with betrayals like that. For God represents you, now you country, for God represents your country, because their credentials is going to be read to the ECOWAS Parliament. ECOWAS members, then where they represent from various different countries, get for understood who that them be, and their records will just pop up for say they have been dishonest to their political parties, not once, not twice, and now they are sitting in the ECOWAS Parliament to say what? To represent us in what capacity? Are they just going to sit there and listen and do the usual, or then they go talk for put themselves in a position where they're going to make themselves look good? I don't see how they're going to represent us in the ECOWAS, because as far as I'm concerned, they are both not capable to do that. As far as I'm concerned, they are not politicians for the people, they are politicians for themselves. So how can they represent Sierra Leone?
But this is the sad part, because again,
they can't represent Sierra Leone.
You understand something. We can't blame the ECOWAS. The ECOWAS not to them problem. Now we own problem.
Course, they don't care.
If we decide for send criminals out there who represent we, or whatever we want to call them, that's our own business. Now we own interest around it. The sad thing is they'll go and make decisions that will affect Sierra Leone for the rest of Sierra Leoneans for the rest of our lives, them, or for the rest of the existence of the country called Sierra Leone. And people don't understand the dangers behind these things.
Well,
go back small. I like to take people back to small history. Sierra Leoneans used to go to the UK visa free, right?
Yep.
Right? Sierra Leoneans used to go to the UK
up to
the 90s.
1998. 96 to 98.
No, 1990. I think that 1994.
No, 1994, we still be the go visa free. 1995, we still. I think 1996 is when the embassy in London had the information that Ashewe say Sierra Leone is safe, and therefore stop Sierra Leoneans coming to the UK with visa free.
No, I tell you now, the person who do that is the current Speaker of Parliament, Dr. Abbas Bundu, when he was serving as Minister of Foreign Affairs under NPRC. Under NPRC, that's when he said Sierra Leone is a safe country. People then they come out and they go as refugees and all of them kind of thing. That was the time them put him put.
That was in 96, I think.
Not 96. 96, they only served for a couple of months in 96. So that was before 96. So
the ban actually started in 96.
Well, okay,
95, 96.
That year, so it was around that time, but it was before 98 anyway. So what are they say? One person decide for make a decision will affect Sierra Leoneans. Where people for go do their studies, because that time they happen before. People go team up, then they go sit down in London because they may get free access for go, right? So now go to the way tie return back salon. But now for go UK, because of one person in statement and decision, I affect result. So I just highlight that for let people understand that these people going there as imposters, say that they represent Sierra Leone, will go there and cause havoc for Sierra Leone. Havoc for Sierra Leone. Then people are going to tell and say, oh, no worry no more. We'll get peace in the country. The opposition are not serious, now they like one of that country. The frivolous statements where the person they make na radio and television na salon, they will go make worse statement than na ECOWAS. Who that go take with it serious? Nobody. What you go vote for? You go vote for in pocket. Where serious issue will go affect the sub-region come for vote. In as much as something will affect the sub-region, we will go vote. Now for in pocket, they go vote for. They don't care with the danger where they can do. They go vote for in pocket. Thinking say they do salon good. You can carry the title and put mantle. But again, like we say, there are people there before them. We'll see how all this they end. So let's go back to the APC. So now this standoff don't continue. We don't have APC in parliament. So in essence, even if we want for say this government, they recognize that we still don't have a multi-party democracy in Sierra Leone. Now one party state now we're going to parliament. Is that true? T-Boy?
Well, so far, it's only one political party representing in parliament. At least, we all know that for sure. And for Make United, no other political parties. You only have two where they represent a parliament fully. At the moment, there is only one because my Bangura and
they're not so because they don't suspend an APC.
Now they say there's been suspended. They have been suspended. So we basically don't have none at the moment. Now make us say then they represent SAPP, not APC. And they're not representing themselves because for later and still in a parliament, it means that they represent SAPP as a political party.
You from where this this committee show they go on, has there been any publicized parliament sitting where you don't witness or whatever? I for really left for you how then they talk to themselves.
I don't remember none, but I think I've seen some glimpse of few things happening, but I haven't actually listened because there's no debate. There's nothing to debate. There's nothing to talk about. Now, there haven't been any parliament sitting. We go to the public. I think parliament was dissolved for a couple of weeks or months. So you don't have to sit in parliament because there's nothing to sit for.
Right.
There's nothing to sit for.
It will be interesting where some people then they argue to this. I will let for everything.
They can't because now they self your own bill. They can't argue against each other because except if they want to make a fine or they want to make a war, then we'll agree and disagree for what? Maybe what method should be used or what process should be followed, but not the fact that they will not vote for the bill. They will vote for the bill. So basically, now automatic votes. But the basis of the discussion for the bill to be voted for or for the bill to be passed, that discussion will not take place. But not that SAPP, you know, saying they protest against democracy. What do you like to say? They protest in favor of what?
Democracy.
Thank you.
Yeah, not to against you. Now in favor. Now
they say, no. I'll just use that first one. They protest in favor.
Protest in favor of democracy.
I don't understand.
You are protesting in favor of.
Well, let me say not that then. They protest in favor of democracy, so they can do anything in parliament. The English alone, they give you the right to make you come on our streets.
Stephen, how do protest Stephen, don't come. Stephen, we missed you. How the parliament debate, they talk about parliaments, how the parliament sitting, because they wonder how one party state go to debate against itself right now. They must give it.
No, but see, Juba, you make mention of the issue of the suspension of Maya Bangura and the other guy. What's in the Speaker of Parliament for do in that particular situation when you don't officially possibly get a letter from the political party?
Well, Insai law another day, and this is a PR system. If I don't tell them for cease for continue for going to Parliament, if they've been serious, but they don't care about that. Before that, the Speaker they don't tell people and say, if you don't welcome them, say one don't come, two don't come, more get for come, then go they come every Thursday, then they come up until today. I don't know how many Thursdays don't pass so from June. Now then two no more still did it. So we don't know. So let's go back to so Asana to Wounded say that actual visa thing started in October 94.
Yeah.
Nah. And Abu they ask, so he say not trust the ECOWAS and AU. He believes say them for they not for recognize Mohamed Bangura and Alfred Thompson, then for suspended. What can I take on that?
From me?
Yeah.
Well, if Mohamed Bangura is not representing a political party in parliament, the ECOWAS should not accept his appointment because he's not legally supposed to be in parliament as we speak right now.
Yeah, but not all the ECOWAS, they pick who that they go represent Salon. They can go pick somebody else not for go represent Salon at ECOWAS parliament if they want.
So our constitution does not serve it right for make we for Mohamed Bangura not for be part of the delegation.
Not to wait till the constitution. So they talk about on the ECOWAS side.
ECOWAS, on the ECOWAS front, say yes, he say yes, then can you able for pick anybody from the skits which Salon was saying. But we as a nation, don't we think that is not something that we should be
That would
practicing?
talk about too, but we as a nation, the people that we did, they not to then create the situation we they into in the first place. The person where they serve as speaker now, he was speaker of parliament, where then passed the stupid how you call the thing, midterm census thing, where then go ahead and accept Mohammed Kone for be commissioner for ECSL. Insai they will then skew the laws for make sure say them pass an electoral law where already will cause problem for the people of Sierra Leone. He was there. So he's not new. So he was part of the problem, or he is part of the problem. You know, he did it and allow for let them kick 10 members of parliament out of parliament. And then he did it, he go swear in people their way, they not get an election rerun for go serve just for add the SLPP numbers. So he presided over all of those things. And this person, not so mumo. So this is why it pains me when people are like, oh, Salon are the people are illiterate and Bokuna, I make so. They illiterate one and they cause problem. No. Dr. Abbas Bundu is not illiterate. He's one of the most intelligent Sierra Leonean way so don't they boast of. I don't know how intelligent he is, but not so don't they boast about him.
No, say one of the most educated on paper. Hold on.
Educated on paper. He's been, prided as one of the best, constitutional lawyers Sierra Leone, have today. And, he don't serve as what? Secretary General at ECOWAS. You understand? He don't serve as Minister of Agriculture. He don't serve as what? He don't serve as Minister of Foreign Affairs. The man don't be presidential candidate for your own political party. So you understand all the things that will happen in the country.
He's supposed to get a wealth of knowledge in politics.
Yes, but then he's presiding over a rogue system. And even
because he himself is a rogue system. So basically, what do you expect? When you are a rogue system, then you will be able to preside against anything that comes on your desk that you think is not legit. Because already your position of trust in parliament was not legit. So basically everything else that you will do will be based on illegal performances. So basically I'm not surprised, but I'm just shocked that we keep on saying Sierra Leoneans, we're not educated, we're not civilized. But the one that we're supposed to be civilized and educated are the ones who in the country. So what do you expect? For make that man will not go to school for can't tell you about economics? Now, because you don't see the practical economics now you do it. That man will not go to school talking about business because he practically do business and bookkeeping where you not even need for go to school. So he already knows exactly how the protocol of the discipline should be.
Whether Fulham been talk na state house say Sierra Leone economy dey na street bread na street, they not be understand what
No, they don't understand.
Now accents them focus on, but they don't understand.
They don't understand. Because it's true. Because that man don't deal with the day-to-day runnings of the street skaters in Sierra Leone for decades, so he knows.
Yeah.
Not say the bread and butter of Salon, the street today.
Yeah.
The Duff Court, the Lumley, and the areas then we will look at the most deprived, and then the economy they grow. Now then they bring come the regular income where the country they use for doing basic runnings of the administration of the country itself. The high taxes are not being paid because most of them they pay tax. Or the tax they pay when they pay at all, they go into the pockets of the
talking about tax. This go can lead wages not to the economy, but we can't get back. Let we round up on this one. So still the wait. We know say there's a supposedly a dialogue way for starts tomorrow between then say they go consult the EU, ECOWAS, and Commonwealth. Say then they engage the different parties them separately. Then next week, then get for go into a dialogue. Meaning then they engage from tomorrow. Tomorrow is what? Tomorrow is the 13th. Yeah. So from tomorrow up to I think 3 days or so, then they engage the different parties. Then the next week, then go into a dialogue.
Yeah. I am not looking forward to that.
I was going to ask, let me ask you a question.
It's a waste of resources, waste of time, and waste of anything where anybody think of. And why? The reason why.
Why?
Okay, simple reason. One, we don't present in some of these activities in Sierra Leone. And we spend how many hours? Possibly like 5 hours listening to a conversation, the same repetition of conversation. Nothing new, it's the same thing. For about 5 hours. We're going back and forth with it for about 5 hours. And then go on a break, only to come back and say, sorry, we need to now continue this discussion behind closed doors. Okay? For another 4 hours. Only for me to come back and say, sorry, we need to come back tomorrow for an additional behind the scene discussion. That lasted for another 5 or 6 hours. Only for me to come back and say, there was no solution. What's the point?
Yeah.
These are educated Sierra Leoneans, learned Sierra Leoneans. We don't want administrative buildings and structures and ministries in Sierra Leone. We're supposed to be negotiators, but they still did not come up with any resolution. So what's the point? And again, they invited the EU, the international observers, local observers, a couple of NGOs, civil societies, religious council, PPRC, and they still don't have no solution. They still did not derive as anything from both sides. So what's the point? So I am not expecting anything, even if they get 90 hours discussion. It still doesn't mean jack, because guess what we're going to happen again? We go send we summary. We go summarize the meeting and send in the recommendation. That's all it's going to end up with. And we go back to square voting, 0. What? No solution. APC continue for stay out, not participate in parliament, or some give up and go represent themselves, or they have a breakup somewhere, or they bribe some, we go able for go say, okay, well, me they go sit down, or something else happen. But there is not going to be any tangible solution because it hasn't been done before. Mr. Bio, go sit down, he say he do Bintumani what? What's the solution of Bintumani 3? And what was executed out of Bintumani 3? Not saying the violence can escalate self, not saying the corruption can go past how it's supposed to be, not saying the extra killing can increase, not saying the hate between Sierra Leoneans and Sierra Leoneans become even worse. Where's the solution? So why are we wasting our time, resources, and people's time to come and sit and listen to crap that we're not going to get any solution out of it? It's a waste of time. So I'm not even looking forward to anything that will come out of that. As far as I'm concerned, it's a waste of time. It makes no sense. There's not going to be no solution that will come out of that waste of time and enjoy the negotiation for its money. Period. ECOWAS will have dealt with that problem 5, 6, 7 years ago, but they failed to do so. The first time ECOWAS don't step in and fix the problem as alone, now when they begin kick parliamentarians then, that's where officially voted for by the people, not so by the political parties, so by their own people then. And then they say, then fraud the system, fine, no problem. Did we have a by-election for elects the other representation away for camp for represent the people in the parliament? No. What you can do, they impose to the extent that one of the members of parliament away can second. We been then a different political party, they refuse an in seats because they say all the people away can second. Now the other political parties then they take seats in the parliament automatically. And this person are PMDC, or no, not PMDC, now mean KKY, NGC, member of parliament. But they refuse an in seats, even though they can second. ECOWAS should have stepped in and solved that problem. We have an issue in the well of parliament for the first time in the history of Sierra Leone. ECOWAS was not able to deal with that because we know importance to.
And ECOWAS sent representation there about 4 or 5 times within that period.
We get any solution?
Nope.
So these guys are not taking us seriously.
I was shocked when I see a couple of the ECOWAS people the way they go to parliament say that they can't dialogue. Now they see as election observers as well.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
They're in one of the hotels. We see them. Right?
Of course we did. We saw them.
One of the hotels. We saw them sitting there. So it was just funny to say,
it was fun.
We reach Saudi. Then I want to observe back this election. So it was very interesting.
So when we actually saw the names of people that are coming to observe the situation in Sierra Leone coming from the ECOWAS, I just laughed. I'm like, really? Would they can't waste time like that? It's a pure waste of time. So sitting into a dialogue for the next 3 days with both political parties is not going to make no difference. If me being there in the position of APC right now, it's simple. We cannot change Mr. Bio to be not to be the president anymore. He's been announced, except if he gets pride, respect, and value for in position as the president of Sierra Leone supposed to be, then yes, maybe he will think otherwise. But as far as I'm concerned, that is not going to change. If I was APC in their position, to me, it's simple. There are certain districts in Sierra Leone we will not foresee under any circumstances. SFP need to get seats there. So as far as we're concerned, we return back our majority in parliament. We will possibly stop the government for changing the constitution, which is paramount. Because whatever happens, if APC fall for this and then go and participate in parliament, they will have to change the constitution, and you cannot stop them from doing so. Or, as far as I'm concerned, there should be a clause where the states say mandatory, not so if, of, and what. It should be written in bold caps, mandatory. The constitution of Sierra Leone should not be touched for the next 10 years, or next 15 years, or next 20 years. Let me deal with the rubbish who gets forced. Don't not fix that, because we've tried to fix it, but it hasn't made any difference. So look, we'll deal with this rubbish first. Look, we'll not try for amend them, because what do they amend? And who amend them? Who do they benefit? And guess what? If they go for sit down for amend the constitution, it has to be tendered in parliament. Parliament has to vote for it, yes? So we go back to the same square one. So as far as we're concerned, the constitution should be an element of any dialogue. It should not be touched. 2, APC as a political party, if I was part of them, we should have our majority back in parliament endorse. 3, we should have key stake in key ministries them in governance. We don't have to be the president anymore or vice president. That hasn't changed. But some certain positions in parliament as ministers or portfolio ministers should be changed. And shared ownership, meaning we have to be in the position of controlling the economy of Sierra Leone as equally as SLPP as a political party. And guess what? There is no other political party will come and say, we self need a share, because you did not participate in election anyway. You are all in favor of SLPP then. You throw your weight at SLPP. So like SLPP doing that, whatever they want for doing that. Apart from that, there is no other dialogue where APC they bring kind of the table where they make any difference whatsoever for change what we don't pass through for the past couple of months. They are not going to say, okay, we'll carry you backlog if Nanado will ask for the members of parliament where it only benefits the politicians, other than the MP them. That's 1. 2, Unalogo can't turn Samoa president or vice president, or vice president 1 or president 1 or president 2 is practically impossible. 3, what in Unago give APC as a political party will go benefit the party? I don't know. I don't know what you tell me, Ojuma. Because me, I not sabi exactly. If not me, what did I say so? Constitution should not be touched for the next 10, 15 years. APC should have back their majority in parliament so they control any bill that is going to be passed. If it's not in favor of the people or the country for benefit, that bill should not be passed because they will have to vote for it. And once a man go do which ones vote to, it has to be realistic.
Boy, how would you justify the APC being majority in parliament if you not get the aggregated data from the election?
Now they say that's for commerce, because we need that for commerce for make sure say legitimately APC get majority back in parliament. And the fact say we go back and investigate ECSL, waste of time. There is nothing that is going to come out of it. We don't know how many months now from June. So July, August, September, October is almost 4 months down the line. ECSL not even make any attempts for produce a fake data set. Nothing. Because there's nothing to produce. So the results where sometimes we go say, look, we investigate. There is no need for investigate ECSL, because we know for say ECSL don't like Paris. We know for say Mohamed Kone don't give you a rogue result. We know for say Mohamed Kone don't really care, because I have seen him in person where he arrogantly address APC, Council of Elders, religious leaders, and civil societies in European Union. Arrogantly, they tell and say, Alex, if I feel for announce the results where the inside play and they fly, I have the right to do so.
They say even if you didn't in village, you can decide for go sit down in village.
So it's not possible they can't investigate. You don't tell you already what they do or what you don't do. So what you can't waste your time for can't investigate them for? And even when you investigate out, we don't ever get any kind of review into anything where pending investigation as alone. No. We have not received any documents for anything where they under investigation as alone. Nothing. So why would we waste your time for go begin to down, say local dialogue? There's no dialogue. APC have two mandates. Either they accept and move on. They accept, say, yes, the election has been rigged, it's been stolen. Let's move on and make sure, say, we participate if we can. Fair enough. Or then put out the mandate that they make as million recommendation. Or we sit down and wait for the next 5 years.
So whether 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, so we will get the same kind of situation again in Sierra Leone if governments change.
If government change, say that again once more.
I say whether 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Because with the precedent we don't set so that means Sierra Leone will go through the same cycle again, maybe worse.
Well, as far as some of us are concerned, if we go through this phase and nothing happens, I think now we self they start the next one as alone if anybody's going back again. Whether be it this current administration or any other administration. Now we self they go start the next one as alone. Because you know America they say so. We cannot sit back and allow rubbish like this to happen. Our country will say we love, because we don't love Salon at all. We only make hypocrisy and stupidness that the diaspora, whosoever would be. Just because of we get people already that are power of authority, with something they influence some of the decision, they influence we financially, or they influence people away something they know. You can't sit and allow that, because it doesn't make sense. That is why you have freedom fighters all over the world. They're fighting for what? Freedom. Freedom cannot be given to anybody freely. You have to fight for it. So if we're not ready to fight for freedom in Sierra Leone, then some of we get for the police no more for the rest of our life. And we don't want to do that. That is not a choice that we are making. And if we continue to make this choice and say, I don't care, I'm not this thing, it's not my concern, sorry. It will affect your grandkids. It will affect your great-grandkids. Because 20, 30 years down the line, you might think you survive the consequences of what is happening in Sierra Leone. Something as salon you retirement they go there. Something they don't build you house, they say you live in luxury. You find yourself in a self-made prison. Self-made prison because of the Detroit or because of the deteriorated situation where you country don't find yourself at that point in time where you will retire. 20 years down the line from now, you're thinking you have the best of the world right now. You don't see how some people they end up in a salon 20 years back. Maybe they live the best life in Sierra Leone. Some they beg for visits. Some they beg for me able for can say, oh, Kushewu. So not feel to say the world is just around you no more. When you turn past, they go back and have somebody else in your area. So if we say this would encounter, so if we accept them and move on as Sierra Leoneans, they will not need to go down the line and be X, Y, Z, Z, Z. Big mistake. Big mistake. Because if we sit down, we allow this to happen because we think, say, me not a politician, I don't want to get involved. Politics will bite you. And when politics bet you, they bet you hard. Sometimes they go bet who side you need to even think of. And when they bet you who side you not think of, you go know what it is to be involved in politics. You go know what it is to be part of the process. You go know what it is for sure. Say your meaningful contribution makes a lot of difference in whatever way you might think. You know how many people suffer the consequences of bad governance in Sierra Leone? You know how many people? So looking at this whole thing, they talk about APC and SFPP. What about the people?
Right.
What about the people that will actually vote? Where actually they suffer the consequences of this election right now? Not to the politicians them all. Because the members of parliament, when they refuse for going to parliament right now under APC members of parliament them, where they outside, we not so parliamentarian them, now they pull them 10 billion, 100 billion, 1,000, and make sure they sustain their own life them. Not your government, so now the average Sierra Leonean, when an APC member, a meaningful contribution where people don't take feeding in your own family, now in back in the put for benefit the politicians then where they go represent the parliaments, we not give for goals. They are living. They die. Then they leave before they become members of parliament, so they can continue to live. Being a member of parliament is not a career. It's not a career. It's a representation. But every parliamentarian should have a career. Because when parliament fails, what happens? You go back to your career path. If you're a lawyer, you continue for practice. If you're a doctor, you continue for practice. If you're an accountant, you go back and find a job in the banking systems. If you're a carpenter, you're a businessman, you continue your business. Your life does not end when you cease to be a politician or a member of parliament. What happened to the ones that were now a member of parliament 5 years ago? They don't die? No. They have a career. They don't go back to their career paths. Some of them don't develop more careers whilst they were in parliament. They leave those careers now. Some of them don't open consultants in politics. Some of them don't open businesses in politics. Some of them don't benefit from that same way they're in our parliament as members of parliament. They have to leave. So look, will not begin look like for say politics is the only way forward. That's the only way forward for some Sierra Leoneans in Sierra Leone. When you take politics away from some people, they are nothing. I give you the likes of the Mari Banguas and the Sandy, if my name. What thing they don't do? Mari Banguas say in our thing. In career path, nobody knows. You name me 1 or 2 politicians when a member of parliament has no longer career path where they practice. We still continue in career paths. Very few, if not very few, non-safe.
Well, you mean when they're in a parliament?
When they're in a parliament, they have a duty to the people.
Yeah, because they're not supposed to do other things.
Yeah, I know. When they're in a parliament, they have a duty to their people. I agree. But after that, what happens? They don't even have a life. Everything that they do is surrounded around politics. No, you should have a life. You should have a hobby. You should have things that you enjoy doing. Politics is not your life. It's not your life. You see Donald Trump and they stop politics and they go play golf. That is their hobby. Then they take break. Then they go do things the way they can normally let
go back to parliament.
I don't know. I don't know. I think you talk about but something.
Ask cannot talk about ask because sometimes we get that they do, it will go back and say okay, me party say not go to parliament.
You Even if you're in consultancy for talk to people yourself, you will get paid. I mean, in the UK, we have politicians who end up being columnists after their parliamentary seat done. They end up having columnists in different various newspapers. Some of them are bloggers.
Yeah.
Some of them they go do correspondence, news correspondence. Some of them they go sit up discussion panels and get paid. They become analysts.
Yeah.
That is what some of them do because they've gained the experience. They've learned certain things when they're in committees, select committees. They know some of the policies and some of the good and bad policies. So when they have discussion based on policies, for example, on health, then bring them in. Come, let's have a discussion. You were one time a chairperson for committee, for the health committee in the UK Parliament. So come and talk about the health. What are some of the legislation that they want to pass in terms of policies that will affect the average citizens or the average ethnic minorities in the communities? They call them to come and discuss. They are analysts. They are panelists. They have careers after that. Some of them become columnists. Yeah, David Cameron, when he ceased to become the prime minister, he was the editor of a newspaper. They paid him millions on being the editor of that newspaper. I don't know whether it was the Standard Times or so. Massive newspaper in the UK. And they even criticized him of taking the job. But he has to do something. Tony Blair became a world envoy, traveling all over the world.
What's the other guy's name?
John Major.
Oh, no one. This one, the recent one. What is his name?
Boris Johnson.
Yeah, Boris Johnson, not on newspaper every day, exactly. And all that thing, and
he continues his day-to-day job. He lives on.
Tony Blair, we don't come politics, not in the foundation. So
exactly. So you forget a career path after politics because your life, you're not going to be a member of parliament for the rest of your life, my bro. But the sad thing is, parliament's representation in Sierra Leone is not based on anything other than councildom and can represent and do what thing I ask you to do. That's it.
This guy and I make a laugh.
This one.
The Alfred Thompson.
Why?
You know, say they've been give them for sign, say let all agree, say they no go parliament. It's signed. They say not coerce them, coerce. I say them bully and for their sign.
Okay.
That was so funny. Big man like you. Are you sit down there, say them go bully them, coerce you for sign a paper. Then, but you still, they're not bully you for letting you not go to parliament. You told you go to parliament. They're not being bully you for give you symbol or for put your name on the list. They're not bully you at the time, but they bullied you to sign a paper say una for boycott parliament. So now you don't get sense you go. But then now when the party suspend you, you cry foul now say, oh, you be don't tell them say you're out of the country, then for wait for you take car. So you go really complain to I call them PPRC.
Well, what do I really complain to? One of the most useless political organizations in Sierra Leone. We don't know the boundaries of what they represent. So
anyway, let we go.
You go down the drainage and you end up for going at the gutter. Because the drainage is not enough for contain you flow of rubbish. So that's why they're going to PPRC. PPRC don't represent nothing but themselves. It's supposed to be political party representation, right? Who do they represent? How comes we have PPRC in Sierra Leone? There's only 2 political parties that are competing in Sierra Leone, and you have PPRC.
I know.
So what do they stand for? So why are they actually there as a political party of representation? They should not exist. You mean the whole Sierra Leone are only 2 political parties able for a merge with political presidential candidates? Really? Are you actually in favor of the political parties that are in Sierra Leone? And I refuse and deny other political parties were not told the land of SAPP.
Yeah.
And then una support and condone the rubbish and make sure say they not get no representation, not even in parliament. Come on, man. Now that should be called a credible institution for can actually lay complaints. So, who cares?
Anyway, let me go to round up for me on this one. Then we'll go to the state of the economy.
For like round up the situation of APC as a political party and a stance in parliament and the dialogue we don't forget from tomorrow to the next couple of days, whatever it might be, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 days is a waste of time. Waste of time, waste of resources. That money could have been channeled into something else. And I don't give a toss what decision they're going to make because it's not going to be of any difference to what we already know. So whatever might happen, good luck to those who are going to be participating in that sort of decision making or whatever decisions or dialogue they're going to have. It's a pure waste of time. If something good comes out of it, but I am not expecting nothing. So that's my position. And for them abstaining to participate in parliament, I give them 110% kudos for that because I think that is one of the best things that the political party has done in the history of politics in Sierra Leone. That has never happened. For them to be able to do it for the past couple of months is good because it has just proven to say anything is possible. Nothing is impossible on earth. If they can do it for 3 months, they can do it for 6 months, they can do it for 1 year. They can do it for as long as Mr. Bio's term in office exists, which is 5 years. He will not have that mandate to change the constitution. If he started to do anything like that without the participation of pure democracy in Sierra Leone, then he's asking for trouble. So when that trouble comes, he will not expect it for say, oh, now which one to? Because you cannot change the constitution on your own. Then we are now running in a country that is dictatorship. If that is what we want, then fine, let's wait for that to happen. So APC has patiently waited for that alone, 110% on my textbook. I will emulate that for as long as I can because non-participation is refusal of acceptance of the results of 2023. And I totally and strongly agree with that. So as far as I'm concerned, if APC can stand their grounds and continue to abstain from participating in parliament, if I get forgiven me last minute blood of money, I go take and give them. Because I think that alone has changed the democracy in Sierra Leone. Because without that, Salon before on a different platform right now. They could think of something more worse than what we don't go to.
And I think you said something there where it's a take home for every Sierra Leonean. If you can do it for a day, you're capable of doing it for a week, for a month, for months, for a year, and years. And they don't demonstrate and say it can be done. And now for the right reason. You not say in a go parliament, you just say the right thing has to be done. So if you don't do it for a few months and the right thing has not been done, why you for decide for go back in a parliament?
Exactly.
Because if you go there, then it was like a fruitless endeavor. Why did you stop in the first place? If you just don't go, if you be no say you will compromise for go after a few months. So you're absolutely correct. Again, we'll be watching and see what's in the outcome of the dialogue get for B, because I don't call that dialogue. Dialogue is a two-way traffic, but this time, like I said, now one-way traffic is a dictatorship, someone dictating and imposing what they want. And you just you go sign, say, yes, I agree with this. That's what it is. Dialogue for B, two-way traffic.
Now that make us say, I am looking forward to the results of the discussion. That is not a dialogue. It's a discussion that we're going to have.
Exactly. Not even a discussion. It's it's a one-way.
It's going to be a lot of repetition of what has already happened in the past. So then they go repeat themselves over and over and over and over and over and come up with.
Then dance for we, then hug, then take pictures.
That picture protocol crap.
In the interest of peace, in the interest of Sierra Leone. sustain we waiting column, democracy, blah 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 blah.
Not democracy.
If that was the case, why did you protested in the first place? There was no need to
Exactly.
protest.
Where is
Because
the peace and democracy? The peace and democracy hasn't been executed.
The reason for you for boycott now for let the right thing be done.
Yeah.
So if the right thing has not been done, business they go on as usual. So why you for decide for backtrack?
Well, like I say no more. If APC continue for take the position where they don't take for the past couple of months, it means they can do it. They're not going to die.
Mayor boy.
If APC decide for take the position where they don't take for the past couple of months, it means they can do it. They're not going to die. And guess what? They not lift the ban. But which ban?
Which ban?
Thank you. I like to ask the question, which ban?
Mm-hmm.
They may get banned even before.
Which one?
Okay, the reason why I mentioned this now because of we don't the year say anti-corruption commissioner don't suspend all APC members of parliament and members of or heads of parastatals or ministers not to travel out of the country without seeking permission from the government, right? Juma.
Yeah, I'm listening.
The ask question, I say right, answer yes or no.
Well, now so them been say, but that was another scam.
Exactly. Make I say.
Because there are known people in government where they are the judiciary, where they pay up to $5,000 for let people let travel.
Exactly.
People they will get valid reason for travel for medical reasons and so on and so forth. They deny them the right to travel until they die or go seek medical attention because certain people will not be ministers or deputy ministers when they take $4,000 to $5,000 for write a piece of paper for let people travel. So it wasn't a ban; it was just another scam that was happening in Sierra Leone. So now they announce it don't know. So why again? It come back to the same thing where they talk with the APC. So if APC go to parliament back, right, where the issue not resolved, but then you've been banned people because you said they're on trial for corruption, and then trial and still pending. But now you say you don't lift the ban. Under which basis?
So my few questions.
Or they were not corrupt in the first place. You were
Thank
just
you. Those are my bone of contention.
Because
you don't lift the ban
because
you lift the ban, say the one that way you been banned, they're supposed for travel now. Who that you be banned?
Who that they be banned?
Because we will receive you in this travel anyway.
Exactly.
So who that you been banned? And the ban you lift them, you're not specific about what's in make you been banned them in the first place. Travel ban mean a lot. You cannot even travel to Makini, to Putloko, to Kenema, to Boo. So if you're banned not to travel out of Sierra Leone, you know how many people have traveled out of Sierra Leone within the APC government over the past 5 years?
Travel ban have been lifted. Why you lift them? What have changed? Then we don't left for the commission of inquiry done. The appeal process don't go through? No. It's still pending. They say you don't lift ban.
Well, that's just another question we have to go on this panel. But to be very honest, the dialogue pending starting from tomorrow lasts for how many days? I don't know. To me, makes no sense. The waste of time. It will not derive on anything. It not going to bring anything productive. If it does, then I will say na bonus. But my expectation on that is zero. Because we don't see them.
Boy, just not of a breakthrough. Like you're saying, we all know the basis of the dialogue. We just say there's going to be a dialogue between the All People's Congress and the government of Sierra Leone, mediated by EU, ECOWAS, and Commonwealth, facilitated or hosted by Independent Peace Commission. Waiting at the basis of the dialogue. What are you going to dialogue about? Or we make, say, the non-transparent election for the one party beer and then move on, or for, say, the elections were rigged, so let we just forget about that, let we move on, let we accept and so, saying as so God be one time, or for the election violence, the people they already and kill with and this and that, let just forget about all of that and just move on, because you know we forbid the pit and swallow the blood. How can you have a dialogue for move on if you are not honest with yourself? How? Because you can only dialogue on a basis wherein there is sincerity of purpose. Meaning, say, me and T-Boy will get a standoff, will get problem. Femi call, we say, Kalo can dialogue. Me and Femi, I don't cause T-Boy, I don't say this, I don't say that. But what the dialogue, I say, no, T-Boy, just forget about the cause, you'll just move on. How is that possible? Or I jog and lunch. Then I say, Lord, just move on. I don't eat them now, nothing, not the commodity. They'll call and dialogue. It's not dialogue.
Well, but again, they use the wrong term.
But then the main people in all this, when are the people of Sierra Leone, where vote, the voters are not considered in this dialogue. The main people, when are the people of Sierra Leone, are not considered. Because the APC is representing APC and APC members. The government of Sierra Leone is representing their own interest. What about the interest of the people of Sierra Leone? We therefore bear the brunt of any outcome or bad outcome from whatever dialogue is going to happen.
So this dialogue is going to be surrounded around APC and SAPP as a political parties?
No, APC and the government of Sierra Leone.
Okay.
So SLPP, I'm not saying SLPP not again. You can we go back behind? Yeah, can we go behind?
So no, because to me, I don't think there's any form of dialogue anyway. There's no discussion. Because dialogue is between two people who have disagreements. So where you can talk the case. Now, okay, what do you do wrong? And what did this do wrong? Okay, this now you don't do wrong. So what to me they say right now, but the fact say you don't wrong this man, I want to make you apologize to him and then make you accept, say yes, you don't do wrong, but for next time or for solve this problem for make two benefits. If you don't achieve this man in 50,000, almost you go for pay him back. Or you go to pay him back small. Then the person will say, no, make you pay me all you want. Okay, I'll talk to you for make you accept because right now I not get that full money they bought. And the dialogue with you for make you understand, say, this man not get that money they right now, but take him half. He will pay you within the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
But T-Boy, in this case, based on Mr. Madabio's statement, he said not to an electoral commissioner. He not interfere, I don't know what's in the happen there. So on that whose basis, he went ahead of government, right? Not the head of government of Sierra Leone. On that whose basis, where in a dialogue with the APC, we get grievances with how the election results and outcome come out.
That I don't know.
So in ahead of government, not the head of the government, not in government, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a dialogue with the opposition. But if you don't tell everybody, say, he not get no hand for election business. He was just a candidate, then declare a winner. And no go say no, they take for let not be winner. So whose dialogue way in and the APC gets now, waiting that the dialogue on. So 30 days, the people of Sierra Leone does not know what this dialogue is all about.
Well, we'll go find out if they come public with the solution or the result or the outcome or whatever it might be. Because they get for tender a document of solution, right?
They can't give it 10-point resolution. Where they say that this they agree joint statement, where they all sign, they read, then shake hand, blah 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 blah, make what you call we all na brother, we all na one. Then they agree, say let we do a national tour for unite the country. We all we are not so oh God, save Sierra Leone. But you know the wallpaper who say bog day.
Because it's a more you go show.
You know the wallpaper side bog day.
Now for tell the variable, make people understand.
Bog. You say what a bog, eh?
You get English name?
I don't know. It's called Femi Balek. Can't tell not the English name for bog. Bog. Where bog the way they eat the boat them everything where they eat it. You can't wallpaper it. Now for nothing, it may take 1 week. That was the day they broke. So just know that one day. Just like we get so food, they just they add plaster on top. They not eat the so food. They will lay well. That's what's happening.
Well, if not down that line, we defend ourselves.
Now we don't defend ourselves, T-boy.
We not sit on this.
Okay.
If we sit on there now, then we'll go find our own solution. Right. Because this dialogue, it looked like for saying any of the stumbling block of us going forward as a nation. This dialogue, it looked like for saying, when I say they take a like.
The dialogue not for change, say inflation at 50-something%.
No, that's what the government they like. The government they say, for the fact say APC not participates in parliament, then make them get this economic disaster.
But then that's 2 APC members of parliament. Why don't the thing not change?
No, they need everybody.
In order for change, say the economy, the inflation of 50-something%. In order for change, say yes, 1 bag rice basmati rice na salona 970,000.
Basmati rice na the salona.
Well, what Jasmine? Sorry, Jasmine color that blue bag, 970,000 leons for 1 bag. In order for change, say petrol price they go up. In order for change, say lights not in the country and Saudi they pay them for nothing. In order for change, say when you pick in sick, when you go to hospital, medicine no day, or you know get money for pay for let them treat time. In order for change, say people then they go to bed hungry. So this not a whole wheel. The people that we say in our government, they don't care about the people of Sierra Leone. So you see, we don't begin go now to the other topic now.
100%. They don't care.
They don't care about the people of Sierra Leone.
Don't, because if they really do care about the people of Sierra Leone, nobody will do this.
Yeah. Now we can't talk about where stalemates then they or issues then they happen.
No.
Things are getting better, you know.
Yeah. Of course.
You know, country then where they get their issues then, including the United States of America, they're not being get deadlock, where they almost get what you call and they not pass what you call they almost they get economic disaster. But they were able to meet on a common ground, other people in the way they do their work for cushion things until they sort out their budget.
Oh, is that what they do?
For cushion?
Mm-hmm.
But what's the make an offer you say?
Because Mr. Abio don't do cushion, but able for
Mr. Bio, I never talk say don't go change the country color, you know.
What did they say now? The language don't change?
I need to talk against it. No, he said a radical. He said that they disrupt. He said they're not disruptors then. Say we are disrupting. I knew what that one day. So radical inclusion.
No, the radical inclusion, no, don't steal. They're not so nothing anymore. Because yes, it is indeed radical inclusion. That's what this is right now. So not so in the interest of Sierra Leoneans, in the interest of radicalism. But radicalism pays. It depends on how you execute them.
Anyway, so we'll go to the economy. What's your take?
The economy, that's alone. Although Peter talks to me, it's not so economy, so it find it very difficult for like me to talk about the economy of Sierra Leone.
Well,
So
tell us we talk about. Then they are qualified for talk about. Tell us how the bread and butter what we talk about. Then they are qualified for talk about. I mean,
oh, me not qualified. So me guys for talk about the diamond and gold.
Exactly.
Because when you see the two topics the way you qualify and me qualify on, not the actual economy of Sierra Leone.
Exactly.
Okay, but like I say, we don't have to be economists for analyze the Sierra Leone economy. Like that Fulama we mentioned earlier on, talking about parliament or state house to the president, then say the economy of Sierra Leone are the streets of Sierra Leone. But then fail to understand that concept, say the economy of Sierra Leone. Go on, Juma.
But you know what I want to tell you?
No.
The irony na in that meeting day, the Fulaman, right? We no go school. We get our accent, that fuller accent. Understand the issue and tell we say waiting. The salon economy did not treat it, bread not treat. But the president of the country tell we say he no know nothing about the issues them concerning the economy and foster the area. So that was very ironic. The man was supposed to be the father of the nation, wait for make sure say in Peking they all eat.
Wait for be the father of the economy.
The father of the economy and everything. Say in no nobody should not be the first day than they pass away the important so. They be still left a minister of finance, the head of NRA, bank governor, all man is either not sack them. Even with the Flaman tell them say the country economy did not. I just want to bring that aside for show you the irony of Sierra Leone.
Well, it just don't actually demonstrate, say, you don't have to be an educationist for making you know exactly how the economy of Sierra Leone operates. Because even at the streets of Freetown, the streets of Bo, the streets of Kenema, the streets of Makeni, and the streets of Kono, only the executing self now the executive buildings they will get who will say now ministerial buildings them, where they represent the executive wing of their economy as within a state. And they're not even the administrator well. So just imagine if they administrate that state economy will get Nastalon well. That's safe enough for serve the people in other various different communities there. Say, for example, you get Abacha, yeah? Abacha street and they all we traders and they go trade for fending day-to-day living. And see how you regulate the administration just within the Abacha sector and how you bring some kind of amenities the way to make them even more comfortable for develop more in that low-scale economic development in terms of raising awareness of the business sector. Because any country will succeed in life or where they develop rapidly, now the private sector and they increase. And when the private sector increase their capacity, it means they will be able to create more job opportunities for the younger generation, the middle generation, and they will increase the class society in that community, which we don't have in Sierra Leone. So the economy of Sierra Leone lie in the hands of the average man where they work and skits every day. We all in machistic box now and for sale or gets a living because it indirectly contributes to the development of that particular area. All you need for do now as a nation or as a country, as government, and for find a way how you regulate them, for like everybody benefits. Because the high-end economy we will feel to say we for actually benefit from the revenues of those high-end economical situations them or businesses them or companies them or industries them really exist in Salone. The benefit they go inside the pockets of individuals, not the country. So the country need the benefit at all. If you actually disable Abacha Street, Lumley, PZ, Malamatomo Street for 1 week, Salone as a nation, Freetown to be precise, will collapse.
That's
that is no question asked.
And that's the honest, yeah.
But will collapse if you disable the area just for 1 week. Freetown will collapse. That's the power of the economy within the streets of Freetown. Now forget that. When you look at the poor economic resources what we get as a nation, then they make we know they grow no sectors to become middle or top end sectors. That's alone. We always in at that level there because we know they actually do nothing for increase the capacity of them particular industries. Now make you get rogue businessmen, rogue investors, rogue factories, rogue infrastructure, then really can alone. No can help you. Now if I can fill in the pockets of the rogue administration the way they, and then take out the best of what they can take out. They need to sign lists where they last for 5 years or 10 years. They know say the country is so corrupt that they will sign a list for 10 years, operate for 5 years, they don't make all their money. Contract is terminated. Why? Because we cannot afford to pay X, Y, and Z anymore. They don't make their money down in 5 years. They don't go. They can't spend peanuts. And we don't see that it don't happen for the past couple of years. So when we talk about solo economy, not so magic anymore. Not so magic. Not so something where they go begin call rocket science. Economists, then they will get the qualification and brains. They cannot fix the problem. We don't get the bank governor, the minister of finance, we say in the change Salone. Now bring and butter economy. Now then they bring camp. Now the same.
The bank governor now be the lecture economics 101
Forget about rubbish they talk. So now textbook economics they talk. In get your philosophy.
Textbook
so basically, what they talk and what they happen at the reality of the ground, totally different things. So I need to understand it because where I can remember I can want for go back to the statements where they make where if want for can change we currency and bring come new and where you want to denounce the old currency because that hasn't changed. Made no difference, same old story, crap, rubbish. So when we talk about the economy right now, we look at inflation. Inflation in Sierra Leone has gone rocketed high.
For the first time for like reach that, even during the war, it not be reached that.
It don't even go past 100%.
No, about 50 something.
Oh, forget 50 something, Juma. That's the makeshift ones. That's not the reality. Again, you get political terms of how they assess economy. But inflation in Sierra Leone, anything where they sell 10 million, not to 10 million anymore, not even 15 million. So we got to begin look at the issues and the direct impact of inflation, that's alone. Direct impact of taxation, that's alone. So the average man who cannot afford in daily need, they even pay tax more than the one where they make millions, that's alone. And that's fact. Because they already make millions na salon, they continue for make billions na salon. Because in they pay in actual tax we supposed to pay. If you for pay 50% tax on all goods and services when at GST, they pay 10%. And then it pay 10% now somebody else in pockets. So it practically they pay 20%, where it's supposed to pay 50%. So if they go with 30% of tax aviation way in they pay, and then it gets now 50 or 100% profit on top that tax way already don't pay. Because it only don't pay 10% to the government, then it puts 10% that somebody else in pockets. Then it gets 30% with the non-wave, and then it make double profits back by the business way they do. So you end up forget rogue businessmen the way they can salon and make quick millions and jet it out back again. you get fraudulent and money laundering people who they kind of salon can't clean their money quick and then just back out of salon. That is what is happening.
And who loses? The Sierra Leonean. Because look, watch where we are at right now. In 5 years ago, if somebody where they work for government, for example, we put in salary all together for the year in earning power in GDP per capita, if you shape salon money, we shape salon money, let's say the shape and to all man. I mean, almost, I think about $800 and something to $1,000. Now the GDP per capita, almost $414. Let's say $415. So if we been sell salon trade, salon, if we sell our shape, trade, you get your share will be $1,000 or $800. Now if we sell salon at $415, now you they get as an individual. So it's sad. Other countries, then GDP per capita, they grow to the thousands. We only just they go down. And when you look at them, no break and down now to the dollar, then you understand what it mean to the ordinary man. Dollar, we always, hey, dollar, would they make, well, we don't know the impact. So the dollar we been get straight worth $100 5 years ago. If your salary was 600,000, where the dollar now be almost after President BSP, remember that debate? That
yeah,
the dollar
actually, was it 500 or 600,000?
600,000. So that be $100. Now $100 is what?
Hey, not 2.something million.
600,000 now, almost 600,000 leons now, almost about $30.
Yeah.
So what you used to earn, the $100 that you used to earn 5 years ago now is $30. So the people of Sierra Leone are getting poorer and poorer and poorer. You're not getting better. The millionaire yesterday in Sierra Leone, say you'd be worth $1 million. Now your $1 million is worth what? $300,000. $300,000. Or $600,000. Now you $1 million worth. So it affects everybody now at every level, at every scale. There's no way you can cover it. The economy, they expose you. You know they cover them for too much. The smoke, they come out. They come out. You go expose them for some time, but not forever and ever. That is where we are right now. So if your salary is, what not the minimum wage in salary now, 800,000. So let's say, huh?
800,000?
Well, that's the minimum wage, I think. Let's take for argument's sake, say the average person in salary in a salon are 800,000. So now, for let you buy quality bag of rice, you get for hard waiting 170,000 leons to your salary for let you get one
That's
bag.
really nice.
So that means you get for go trust from your next month's salary 170,000 leons for able for buy one bag rice. Yeah, family of 5, you able for one bag rice, you able for serving for a month.
It depends how many times almost cup you cook for the day.
Exactly. So now 178 cups there inside the one bag. They're about approximately. So Tibo take a calculator.
It takes so much.
So if you had cook 5 cups for day.
So 178 cups.
Yeah. So if you let's say they cook 5 cups a day for 30 days now, almost standing.
It's 35. If they cook 5 cups.
I say 35?
Yeah. 178 cups.
No, I say if you they cook 5 cups a day, times 30 days. Now, how many cups is that?
Okay.
No, five cups first times waiting 10 days.
30 days.
Yes,
150 cups.
150 cups. So the
Yeah.
one bag, yes. So minus down there from 100. So you left with 27. What you call them?
So now I'm gonna now 35 days.
Okay, yeah. So 35 days for the 178. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then imagine if you salary late, they not pay you in 3 months before they pay you a month salary.
Well, you suffer.
So you see, when people late talk about
and that now just on rice, so bag of rice.
That not just rice no more. That means if na rice no more, na they eat.
No mix butter eat, palmine no dey,
Benin no
dey, pepper no dey.
The wood self no dey for cook. You are for cook na about na get for
self no dey.
Yeah. Matches no dey.
Okay, wait. You try to ask, say why not just get it for buy?
Then we could talk about, say, the high-end quality rice.
So even if you buy how you call that? No, sugar na be the magbas. How you call that?
Parboiled rice.
Parboiled rice. That the rough rice, isn't it?
Boma rice.
That we get that dust panam. Wait, it was like a 15 cents.
Yes, you go eat them, but what you get for it with Dana first because the jasmine, because you go eat the jasmine dry rice like that, at least it gets small.
Yeah, eat out butter safe.
Salt safe.
Or salt safe, yeah.
So
that's the reason why now jasmine rice they make the reference to.
But I don't go to pizza in your rest. Almost they sell the rest. Ask pizza about almost they sell.
Okay, pizza. I give you
about 750,000 leons.
Almost the same price.
Yes, not almost. It's 750,000. So 750,000 for that pusawa bomber rice. So then you left with 50,000 for chop money for buy wood.
For buy butter and pepper. Yeah. At least you get butter and pepper money. No, but you see.
But how you going to pay for the best for gonna host?
Juma, now you see the reason why we call man the thief na salon. Sorry for say that, but it's the reality. Because everybody is about survival. And you not even mention nothing yet for do with household responsibilities.
I not mention but food. This now family where sometimes go decide say then they eat 110 for day, 5 cups.
Yeah. No breakfast, no dinner.
Yeah, no dinner. So this now 010 or 001 formula.
Or 100.
No. Nobody needs 100 na salon.
Each one in the morning, where they cook that it. 100.
They're not they eat that morning. People
001.
Yes, either 010 or 001. That's the formula. Anybody will eat 101 or 011 or 111. No say this now high end.
High end. Of course.
A different level thief, not the thief.
Yep, I agree.
You know, it's now we know more able to survive that one day.
Who's one?
Careful, Amanda. Yes. Now we know.
Now the 001 or 100.
We they do 111.
Of course, for the money get for drinking tea.
Exactly, bread and butter. You know, to tea.
And he end up back with tea and it.
Exactly, and cook.
Then cook in the afternoon. When you begin to come out, cook and food today.
Exactly.
No, but again, you see structured.
Right.
And again, these are not people who possibly get economical knowledge, but then they structured in life well. Because they know for say the basic necessity in life. Now forget it to eat cosmetic. We might laugh at them in the early years. We'll be the thief. I like tea. We should get getting tea and bread and butter in the docker. It sustained them in the morning hours till mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
2 o'clock, you go see, say, they don't put pot in a fire by 3:30, 4, they don't cook done on
No, we don't cook done by 12 to, as you drink tea, so with my mother, they go now.
No, then you don't cook the soup, they left on the pot, then they cook the rest after.
Yeah.
Because that's, I see almost my entire stay whilst I was a child in Sierra Leone anyway.
Right. So by just
So basically, next again, the same thing. And getting black coffee. That you see now, Fulama, they make you realize say flask was essential in certain houses.
So what they cook in the afternoon?
They don't put the water down for the
They don't put the water, don't put it at the flask called Tinde. So we've survived it all these years. Not to boast, but just to highlight how, but people not understand the logic. So that one, they're not they tell you that story, that part, they don't know we own secrets, that one, they are not.
A structure. Again, a structure.
Again,
if you have an economical structure based in what you guys are doing, based on your resources, make you able for do that. So if you are able for survive on that, the country for able for get expertise, them so-called, for able for derive to that same solution. Because at the end of the day, it is not impossible. It is not impossible. We have possibly, I will not say all the resources, but majority of the resources will make people forget 3 course meal in Sierra Leone. We do have it. And I remember back in the days where people in the farm in their backyard, they were able to do that.
Upline, no matter what, the people maybe the upline and
they do that. They do that. Before you get no money, you don't eat your pemawi.
Yeah, or cassada.
Or you cassada, or you petete, or you corn. You must eat something in the morning. If you not eat and you host, where you gonna farm as you eat show, sometimes they don't cook for their heads for before they start for work. When I don't eat, when I go forget energy for work that morning, I was say before the afternoon, sometimes they don't go with cassada. If the cassada season, they don't boil them, they don't make tanga jesse. They don't make them for you fine with boiled soup and steam fish. They don't can boil them for can't eat tanga jesse if na cassava season. Or they don't make for na yebe. If na banana season, they eat banana in various different ways. Well, roast, steam, fry, all formats of banana. Una go get them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Orange season, mango season, all
of course, if na mango season, I go eat mango, you boil mango, warm mango, then we'll cut and peel and for put on a tray for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So there is always something where they give you complete 3-course meal. And even back in the days where sometimes you will say, okay, now free tongue, people that made the plants and then back garden in Africa. People that made the plants small basic stuff.
At least every yard must get one fruit where they plant.
Definitely.
So if not
mango, orange, whatever.
If not it's man apple, na mango. If not mango, na orange. If not orange, na plum. If not even monkey bread.
Pawpaw, remember na one of the fruits fruit, banana.
Breadfruit.
Until family then get experience will show, then they stop for plant banana and they yard them because they see that they will shoot them. So these are all basic stuff we for them to continue to do as a nation. We could have practiced that, we could have developed that, we could have increased the capacity of that, we could have created environments that will be conducive for that, but we didn't.
It's not the only government where they say that they make feed salon their priority, but always they make excuse for the hardship within the country. They blame Ukraine, Russia war.
Yeah, but the mandates for this particular feed salon.
Acknowledge first, say there is a problem. Poverty, hunger is real. When you acknowledge that, then you will put out a national program that you will roll out to work
but
on.
Juma, what will be a national program for feed salon if feed salon is a priority?
If a national program, what you do, you encourage the things that we talked about. You encourage it. You know, just say farming for the sake of it. You go encourage people why them for go farm.
We don't farm 5 years ago, we not see nothing.
If you tell people, say, where una go farm, we they buy from una for school feeding program. We they buy from una for supply amputees them, homeless, and this and that. People will go to the farm.
Yep.
But
there's a market.
Farm, but you they go imports. You give one you farm bull for imports less for can feed people. But you need to buy from the local people. You need to even support them. They are an Nkrumah government, whether you like them or not. They showed us, say they were serious about farming. Not to that time that you get people from the diaspora grab Nassau and go sit and go do farming.
Yeah.
They
I know a lot of them.
Exactly. And then farm then they exist 30 days.
Yep.
Those farms are the farms that exist up until this day. Cash crops, and one the way for feed the country. Some man are rice, some man are cashew, some man are cocoa, some man are granite, cassava, this, that.
Some man are moringa.
Moringa, see, for export. We saw it because the government put priority on farming. We began the ABC, them now the communities them, where they build for make sure say the local farmers then form like what? We able to get cooperative
banks them, yeah.
At the district level, all the cooperative banks they've been tied into agriculture.
They had farmers union, Konowe been full of diamond, being the biggest plantain sellers association of the country.
But when
I mean diamond and know them for
when this government kind of kick all land and say on the APC project, now you say they prioritize feed salon. If you been built on what you be meet, you don't make bad at politics. Like you need to talk about feeding salon right now. People for the feed themselves. We know people the way they not be feel comfortable for the free term. We ask, are they in a bush, are they in a village? May are they applying? If you can't free turn for just can't buy certain things where you need for go back.
Saying that, I know a friend of mine we come on at this country who invest almost all in life savings into farming as alone. He won't die after 2018 because he see everything they crumble back down the drain. He gonna come back London. I asked him, I said, well, why you come out salon? He said, well, now farming they do. And farming they exist anymore. They've stopped almost everything we do. And let me don't invest all my money. So I get for come back. With the hope, say, after the election, things might change. And they go back and continue. But I haven't seen him since. So maybe something don't go back, something maybe not go back yet. So the challenges they would face in terms of farming is great. Even me now, also, I set up a farming NGO. We're supposed to deal with women. And therefore, I begin to get problem with the administration when it comes to agriculture. Because they were fighting me for some reason I don't understand. I should adhere to government policies of farming. No, I am a private sector. I don't want to get involved in government farming structure. I want to run my own farming institution. And I want to empower women in farming. Cash crops only. They said, no. If I don't change my policy that should favor everything that the government is going to pass as a policy for agriculture, I will not have the NGO status for agriculture, for farming.
Oh, see, boy.
That's difficult.
The biggest scam under this SLPP government for 5 years are two things here. Apart from the free education, and we need to talk about again, but we can't talk about that, the agricultural side. How them call that rice project? Tomabo. 30, they will not see one seed less. They spend over $20 million. $20 million project funded by
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Go Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
I think we go China as well.
China, yeah. We go Thailand, all sides.
Thailand.
Yeah, also outside of the plants, yes.
Yeah.
We come, nothing. Tomabom rice project, 30, they will not see one seed less. 1. 2. These governments, them be 70, all the ministers then forget farm. 30 days, will not see one harvest. If now all the ministers they be they not about 40-something minister.
I think so.
Over 40-something minister, if all the ministers then they then 10 acre, 20 acre, 100 acre, they all rest farm, Casada farm be make. Salon not for the angry, the angry.
And then get the facility, then get the resources, they give them the opportunity.
So waiting them in the plant.
You want to tell you?
Tell me. Oh, for talk of 559 they plant.
Yes, no joke. Just give back to if I lie like they fall kick me. I
So
swear.
put luck of 559 they plant.
Oh, bang bang, none of the plants. You see the farm they exist? You see there? You see there?
Interesting.
Oh, yeah, they were farming. That is what they were farming.
He said I put local come out. I get fable and I put local. So
now we put this 5 there.
Yeah, put local 55. Chai! Anyway.
Because Juma, who said the farm them in there?
40 ministers, then 30 they will not see one seed rest.
Now yes, them in the plan. Oh yes. Because they were not farming rice.
Interesting.
They were not farming rice. So that's
might not have around there.
And hey?
You might not have around yonder.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you they sleep there even. Think of. But anyway, the economic state of Sierra Leone don't make even with current people away then give Tamati score position. They even fly for go to Salon Alunge Airport. Now 2 Guinea then they go.
Then are the sorriest part by everything. So $270 million airports for one green post in 90 Friday. Mr. Madabio anyway.
So we need to pay airport tax.
But remember, the mommy tell say, I go continue for fly.
Oh.
I go just the fly.
Oh.
He had to go police. Yeah. So they will make a whole runway and terminal just for laying fly. They say when the minister then again then they go fly for.
Me, I get a living testimony, but I will not say it no more in a public. But I know personal people that we know very, very well.
Government ministers now
yes.
to go fly for.
Government ministers, head of institutions there where they work for government institutions that are Guinea. They didn't buy tickets for fly for go salon. Then you know they say me, I know, bing, 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 bing. I know if they want for argue, they begin calling the name there. Asabi, bing, bing, I know. They're not telling me, I know very extremely perfectly well. Say yes, na Guinea. Now they didn't pass for go salon.
And this can say, what a bombshell.
That bombshell self.
Damn. You get your airport, you not believe for fly from there.
No.
What a bombshell.
What's I go fly there for? No. Serious back, what's a joke? I mean, where I look, I begin when I say, when I go that slow, bo. No, man. I don't expect you guys to go that low.
Sad.
Then uppercuts. Union administration, you the boycotter.
Yeah.
You the boycott union administration.
So where do we go from here, T-Boy?
Well, if then we get the administration, the boycotter, what you go do? We are left with no option.
And now, me you na the diaspora. You if you say salon problem not to your business. Now the money where they send na salon, then they cut 100,000 leons they tax.
I don't understand. Explain.
Where you send money for somebody na tongue for chop money.
Oh yes.
Then they cut 100,000 leons day for tax.
Yeah. So then minus 100,000 just by the money where the person they get.
Yeah, so that can't come out that one day. Nobody.
You know, makes fine you if na Airtel money charge you, you know, it's not accept it fee.
Yes. Any money is sent as a loan, then they cut 100,000 leons, they can't come out.
But me, the shocking thing, where is all this money going?
When I say, no, side
administration.
And you hear about the $165 where they want for ad from December 1st. If you buy,
then they implement them from December 3rd.
Okay. Yeah, December 3rd.
Already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't buy the ticket before end, you're fine. But if now from December 3rd you want to buy tickets from now, December 3rd, then they begin for execution.
$165 in addition to that $25.
$195 or $90.
Yes. Then they get for pay you Sea Coach or Pelican or whatever they call them $50 one way. Is it $50 or $40?
Now been $45. I don't know if you don't go.
I think that it don't go up to $50 now. So $50 one way. So that $90 actually, to and fro. So plus another what you call $190.
And you know, mixed on the possibility to say they get for $50. So
No, landing not count. So
you know, mixed on the possibility to say you get for kind of lungi, then we can't say you get for pay custom for some of the personal effect that we get inside your suitcase.
But you know, say they don't talk a lot long term. Say if you
now they say that they all know mixed.
It worth past $500 you pay tax.
They pay. So can you imagine? We were getting phone very expensive, so can't you in the charge we? Look at here I come.
Not to phone or they go sell now phone for use for
work. For your use. Look at here I come. Come give me all the taxation in the world. So basically, they deny you for go na salon to the right track.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot put a boundary or border control na Guinea or Liberia, because guess what? If Guinea lock them border, we na disaster. Liberia.
Yeah.
So you know, no regulation.
No case for do that for local.
Sometimes I want to put stringent legislation na the border control na Guinea or Liberia.
And Guinea said go put their own law there.
Exactly. So it go affect you now. So go just no man alone. We live here, we born here, we will die here.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's really sad for me to see people that we're supposed to execute the administrative laws in Sierra Leone, then they bypass them, then they boycott them.
So for like government ministers,
and use the easy access.
They in Guinea. Yeah. But because they say one safe cost. They're not like a mama bond.
Of course. So it's not surprising for me to see exactly what's in the happen right now. And we'll talk about the economy, and that's exactly what I mean. Nobody is comfortable. They not increase. Now they say where you buy you EDSL top up ETSA, then they cut possibly if you top up for 500,000 now 100 and something units they get. That's how they reduce down to 120 units.
Yeah.
Personally, 195 units you get for 500,000, but they'll use 120 units now.
They almost lose half of.
Yeah. And then ETSA say not to them fault, then get for put because even now on top up tariff they can increase.
Yeah.
Because they get for increase top up tariff. Because at the end of the day, well, then they claim say the mobile companies are one of the biggest employers in Sierra Leone for the youth there. So basically, if they don't match the rate of inflation, they go collapse. And if they collapse, it means they get forget a huge amount of job loss for young people, and that's go cripple the economy even more. And
there is something about the banks actually. Let me search that. There was a quick statement from somewhere.
I don't know much about the bank institution. I don't know what's in there.
Something the way then where the bank then we about this same. Salon is sad. I can tell you, says salon like we get rotting close. We try for soya and chair.
Other side chair.
So from the banks, then say following the announcement from the Bank of Sierra Leone to increase the monetary policy rate from 19.25% to 21.25%, we wish to inform you that our base rate on all credit facilities will reflect the monetary policy rate of 21.25% effective immediately. So this is not the...
So that the interest rate that for loan?
Yes, credit facility. So where you a businessman, where you go get a credit facility, say you want to go order your goods quickly for cancel in the country, your interest will be paying at 19.25%. Because Bank of Sierra Leone don't decide for send for 21.25%, the banks themselves they match that. So that interest don't go up. So that they reflect to it trickles down to the consumer.
The consumer, yeah.
So
that's now basic economics. Because again, when the demands of goods become higher, who do they suffer the consequences? The consumer. So if the tax rate, the business people they pay high, they filter that taxation down to the consumer because they never pay their taxing.
Mm-hmm.
So the one they now waiting, they waive the taxation now, when they waive, they all maintain the same structure.
Yeah.
So the consumer are always losing out. So that is why we find ourselves in a situation where they can say, if you see price go up now, salon you can't do it again.
Whatever goes up in Sierra Leone will never
comes down, of course, because it's just the continue. It's just the continue. So all the privileges they will get from the mobile companies, will they get free access to weekend free calls, all they have after them, they has been terminated. So those privileges are not available anymore. Even now, say you get top up, you top up your phone. If you not use them, it'll go.
Yeah.
Now, like a way they pay what I get for what I need, they cannot use.
The money I spend on top up now, salon, I not spend them for it for the duration of time where I did it.
Of course. What should they buy a salon for it?
That was sad.
Honestly speaking, what do you buy to eat in?
Because they wonder how you put Gigi Snob. Remember, first they will put 5 gigabytes, it go last 3, or a good number of programs so they do, or where they go to remote areas. But now you put 5 gigabytes before you turn for free, come all thing done. You want okay, what did I do with this?
Yeah.
What did I do with this?
So you basically have to spend like $1 million. For make you able to forget 5 gigabytes or more than say, we buy about 15 gig, 10, 15 gig minimum.
Yeah.
Or just do maybe a program or 2 maximum.
Yeah. And if they don't know, they even know. Say, first day they alert you, say you have 5 gigabytes left, this, that. Now they do wait the whole thing done abruptly. You know. But anyway, so here we are. The situation is real. The struggle is real. And sometimes they can try for trivialize and make it not sound too bad, but it's serious. So if me and you they out here, at least we have options, we have alternatives. Imagine the people out there. Yeah, and I may go choose, say, I don't want to eat in the morning, I'll only eat in the afternoon or at night. So I don't even feel like eating today. You open your fridge, you watch, the fridge full of, I'm not getting nothing for it today. We remember, okay, I'll go get something else outside. But in Sierra Leone, it's a real struggle.
It's not global.
I'm not patronizing the people or whatever because we get family then. We know. We said don't go salon recently. We know it's Italek. That bread will be the buy three so they done. Now we go remember he'll buy 3 of this bread because this one we want not get for do.
But you know, the one that surprised me most now the fact say jelly don't go to 20,000.
Jelly first time when you buy the jelly, the man they give you one for taste for 6 and if you're not sweet, not pay.
Yep.
If you're not sweet, not pay.
Now for see the jelly self yes.
Sad.
Yes, for see.
Here we are. So low round up, T-boy. We'll come back next week, you know, and see how things are. Possibly things could change to the better. Let's go down to 250,000 for bag. Why?
I want to see it.
You don't believe?
Now you're not going to believe, so I want to see it. Salon, if let's go back to 250,000 for bag, Mr. Bill for be president for the next 30 years. If we can only do that no more, at least people are able to buy 4 bags from their salary. It means everything as salon, they normalize. Because when your stomach is full, you will be a productive individual in society.
If not one shipwreck where Dr. Jules Dejalo be promised me before 20 elections.
That shipwreck will carry and shape the bag rest.
Now one shipwreck they don't want to carry it for this December, I go fine.
I beg, but they don't shape the one we've been come. So what I want to get for car again?
Okay, now part of the 49,000 bag where they been born in prison.
9. For camouflage,
I promise me say, where see the win, they bring one shipwreck scam na salon.
This 2023 election?
No, 2018.
Oh no, the ship come, but they shape them to themselves. Then they come. But not for the people, not for themselves.
Anyway.
Remember, so that ship bag gets the name cause problem for we then chief minister and the rest of the people away. then shape the baggage, then so we will
The
not
balance
know.
them born and a prison.
But now for camouflage, say the rest in a prison.
Prison. They go sprinkle some rest then. We're talking
exactly. So that is not going to change.
Anyway,
Not for say the rest not can.
You have
the
a
rest
country,
but you're going to have different people in pockets.
You get a country, the people and they suffer, but then get all this tamatiscope position the way they get. Then one grade position, then get 5, 6, 7 people left. Because if you get Ministry of Agriculture for slot take there, and so we will say only a comment, but I just want to highlight for let people understand. Ministry of Agriculture, you get 4 people in there, or 3. You get 1 we get title as minister, 2 as deputy ministers. Then you get advice rice experts. You then get advice for food security. Then you get with that kind of your position as well.
Then the special envoy to renewable energy,
climate change, and
renewable energy.
5. Then you get somebody where they in charge of feed salon. 6 for 1 grain rest business. Yes. So then and they all. Then
where the one way responsible for consultants for food security.
Rice expert.
Okay, rice expert to say.
The rice expert. But the recent one will happen. You get Minister of Labor, Employment and Social Security. You get then now you get advisor for job creation. But the person in advisor for job creation, somebody make a phone, and that was interesting. He said you sack this person and me as Minister of Labor, Employment and Social Security. He's jobless. Then you appoint him as advisor for job creation. The man be jobless, they will create job for him.
Well, it don't facilitate your own position. So basically, you're not jobless anymore. You don't get job. No, but you see that ministry they amaze me because I don't know exactly which kind of structure they put in place for piggy bank on a voluntary sector for create voluntary wing within the labor force in Sierra Leone, as in seeking voluntary support either from the diaspora or all over the world for camp for apply amla salon. I don't know how that is going to work. Because when you have volunteers coming all over the world, volunteers come with...
volunteers go, sir.
Well, they say international volunteers. So basically, they're looking for volunteers all over the world.
You know, to create job for people. You say you promise, say you create 2 million jobs.
I don't understand what they mean by that.
Then you go bring volunteers from outside.
I don't understand. They say they don't hire somebody within the partner with. We get a voluntary scheme for encourage volunteers them all over the world for can work in a salon. I don't understand what they mean by that.
Can't do waiting, Papa.
I don't understand. I make her ask the question.
Yeah,
because some volunteers comes with baggage and then baggage.
You find out for we do a big.
Hey, well, I just see the press release and also the volunteer they really come out now different country them. They come with some huge amounts of logistic training for cover for them, even though they can't volunteer.
No, but they can't provide skills to the country.
I don't know which sector of
the... I must send that press release from it. For God and happy. This is
I don't know which sector. They can create job opportunity, but then they partner with some NGO where they deal with international and national voluntary schemes. So I don't know what is the basis of that, what they want to do, and how they want to execute that voluntary sector there. It might be said in the 6 Sierra Leoneans them for come out from the diaspora or go volunteer in a salon for work. I don't know what it is. But I will send you the press release anyway. I will send you that document.
Well, if we don't reach this point, let's try a roundup, give you closing, and then we'll come here again next week because we see no go done.
Of course. We hope the next week go the camp. Until we don't get the dialogue resolution solution.
So then I will say it will be juicy for see what's in the apple.
All right. Well, anyway, I want to say thank you to viewers. Then we don't join me today from YouTube and Facebook, and I believe say we get YouTube as them as normal. We don't participate, and then contribution we don't make is very meaningful. And we watch and listen and possibly respond to some of them whilst we discuss the program as we go. And also the one they ready on Facebook, we also they respond, listen, and make comments in regards to some of the contribution that they make on the YouTube and Facebook platform. So I want to say thank you to now once more for joining us. And we believe say most of what thing they happen right now as alone, it concern we all. So we can't sit back and just allow it to happen just because we know this alone means to say we don't know what is happening in Sierra Leone. Just because we are not professionals in certain career path does not mean we don't know how to execute or discuss some of those issues in those particular areas. I believe say every Sierra Leonean is now familiar to the politics of Sierra Leone, and I believe say most of what we see where they unfold in front of we eyes in a salon when it comes to politics is the reality of what politics should not be, and that is what we want to change. So for as long as we see them mistakes and then errors and they then flawed kind of representation in various different corners of Sierra Leone, we cannot allow it to go on as business as usual. So that is why we're thinking it is our responsibility to act wisely. It is our responsibility to make sure that we participate to the fullest and not disrepresent people or not misrepresent people in various different capacities then. So if we continue for make real meaningful contribution, Salon will change as soon as we think it shouldn't. Because what you will do now, one of the key elements of what in Salon need, create the awareness, create the discussion, get people involved and discuss some of the issues that we talk about and find solution, because solution is the key. We've been seeing and hearing a lot of this discussion for the past decades. We will not be even getting interest in politics, but there hasn't been any form of solution. So now what we discuss for doing now for highlight some of these concerns and we look for possible solutions then. Some of the solutions then cannot be done overnight, but in time, for as long as the discussion they continue, we'll be able to reach to the solution and make sure say we execute them, because we know for say without finding solutions for some of the problems, we'll not be able to move forward as a nation. And some of the solutions then cannot be solved overnight. It takes time. But we get for continue the discussion, we get for continue for create the awareness, for create the topics, them, for many people that are aware, say it is our duty as Sierra Leoneans to participate, either on the front line, behind the scene, actively. Non-active participation also makes sense, but you got to make sure say you make your own contribution meaningfully. So I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to now once more, and definitely we will be very happy for come back here so next week and continue the discussion. And we will look forward, but not really me, but I believe say most of the Sierra Leoneans they're reading at the diaspora, they look forward to the dialogue supposedly to be dialogue we get for take place between the government of Sierra Leone and the APC as a political party. We refuse to participate in the parliamentarian sittings of this particular government because they believe say the election not actually go down to the right people that we supposed for win the election and you want the way votes, they not get the right full representation. So we look forward to that dialogue day, but I am not expecting anything anyway. But if anything comes out of it, now bonus, we'll still take them with a pinch of salt or with nothing. So thank you once more for joining us. And we appreciate you guys very much that you guys are taking your time to join us, even though we haven't been around for quite some time. Like I say, we cannot be sitting down here talking about the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. We'd end up for become ECSL. We'd end up for become Peace Commission in Sierra Leone. We'd end up for become PPRC. We'd end up for become the same. So basically, let's find a solution to some of these discussions. That is what we're looking for, solutions. We cannot be saying the same thing and we don't have solutions. So we have experts who are there in various different capacities, come up with the solutions, challenge what we are saying, but give us solutions. So we will be able to highlight some of these solutions. Because when we talk now the ace of the one then way they make the policy papers, then, where they make the rules and regulations the way for govern we as a country. If we continue for telling the same solution they have, so they will think about it one day. But if we not get options of solutions, we are not going to go nowhere. So una continue for send solutions, so grateful for discussing solution there, so or make we move the country go forward. We might not be experts in various different fields of what we discussed, but we have knowledge. We have enough knowledge and experience in all those areas. That's why we're talking about it. But some of us might not be in the position to write policy statements or papers for those solutions that we are seeking. So if you do have any idea or knowledge, send us options, give us views, give us your opinion, find solutions that you think might fix the problem that we have in Sierra Leone. We cannot sit back and sit on we expertise them and we still will not care because we know this alone. Don't make a contribution. It can be meaningful to we today. It can be beneficiary to be picking the own on it or the one who don't born and picking them. So thank you once more. Over
All
to
right.
you.
Thank you so much, T-Boy, and thank you to our listeners and viewers all over the world, particularly on Facebook and YouTube. And I appreciate all of our contributions. Then the comment section was lively and interesting. You know, obviously we see we what you call our paddy. Stevie Nally can late, but when he can be very active. That's what we expect. You know, give your views, don't force it on others, don't fight with anyone. You know, not so salon supposed for the do not shove things down people's throats, say them for believe them and accept them by force. Then say if the juice sweet, you know, force answer the picking. And the picking self now go on for drink more. But we go get bang bang, we go pit them. So that's what's happening with Sierra Leone. I thank you all, and we hope for soon again next week. And I just want to say something, say, in any of we dealings, in any of we actions, we words, sincerity of purpose is key. If we sincere with we self in Sierra Leone, we will have justice, we will have peace, we will be united, and we will progress as a nation. But if we are deceptive, definitely we'll continue to retrogress, and we don't want to do that. Mind the people the way you choose for lead you, because they can say your destiny dinner you are. That's exactly what they mean. If you choose the wrong person for lead you, they will lead you astray. And we pray let God continue for diverting at the right path in Sierra Leone. Thank you. Stay blessed and good night. On behalf of the Sierra Gem Media team, Nami Jumaba, they say tata, and we see you again next week. Bye-bye.